Hey everybody, and welcome to an informed wild ride with Steve-O. We have the new host of Jeopardy this week, Mayim Bialik. And of course, she's known for being the star of Blossom, many other things, and she knows a lot. She shares a lot, and she spills the tea. Plus, stay tuned because it gets intensely personal, too. Now, I think that she's got a lot of good advice as well. Like, she says that people are eating way too much salt and way too much sugar these days, and I could not agree with her more. That's why it is so important to me to enjoy my Magic Spoon cereal. This stuff is the solution to wanting to eat like an absolute jerk and just pile your face with sugar and just awesome tasting cereal. But this cereal has 0 grams of sugar per serving, only 4 grams of carbs per serving, and 13 grams of protein. Come on, dude, this is like health food that tastes just like that guilty pleasure that you enjoyed when you were a child. And Magic Spoon believes in their product so much, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't love it, you get your money back. I love it, man, and I really need to back off the sugar once again. I had a big-time sugar relapse, and I'm leaning on Magic Spoon to help me get my weight under control again. I think you might want to give it a try, too, and I've got a deal for you. You go to magicspoon.com/Steve-O, and that's going to get you $5 off your order. And you can get this trial kit. It comes with your fruity, your frosted, your cocoa, and your peanut butter. I mean, come on. You can't go wrong. The stuff is delicious, and it's actually good for you. So go to magicspoon.com/Steve-O, and for good measure, use the promo code Steve-O when you're there to get $5 off your order and find out how absolutely delicious this healthy cereal truly is. Take it from me. You're going to love it. Now, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayim Bialik.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. It's so nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you inside of your tour bus.
Yeah, thank you. And you've met Paul Brisky and Scott Randolph.
Yes.
Hello.
So this is great. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
And you're the official host of Jeopardy now?
I'm one of 2 people finishing out this season of Jeopardy as host, and I don't know more yet. If I did, I would talk about it.
Right.
But,
well, not necessarily. You're professional.
I could also be lying to you, but in this case, I'm telling you that I'm not. But I kind of live from season to season as a sitcom actor, and so Jeopardy has fallen right into my schedule of not really knowing what I do past any particular May. So I will basically be working. I'm on Call Me Kat, which is the sitcom that I work on. I'll be on that.
And you produce.
That's right. I mean, they give you that credit, but basically, I'm an actor who sometimes says, like, what if I do this? But once that ends, I will finish out the season of Jeopardy. But Ken basically does the episodes that are recorded when I'm at Call Me Kat. So
that's Ken Parson.
Ken Jennings.
Ken Jennings on Jeopardy. He was the guy that won the most money ever, right? The
winningest. He's the winningest.
Yeah.
How do you get the job being the host? Because there's some words that you don't understand and you're reading it in real time?
Yeah, well, so keep in mind you're watching an edited show, meaning if I mess up pronunciations all the time, on average 5 things per episode we have to, redo. So when it all comes together, like it looks like, I mess up things all the time. Sometimes I mess up totally normal words that are in the language that I was raised speaking, just because it's a lot of words and you're talking for, hours and hours and hours. So just sometimes your brain gets slower than, the words trying to come out. And so
I was always impressed with Alex. Like, he'll just read a French word. I'm like, how does he know that?
Because he's French-Canadian.
Okay. Well, an Italian word.
He was good.
He was just...
I read Italian words, okay? I do pretty good. The one thing that is hard for me is French. Like, if something's... Well, I'm a Spanish speaker, so, like, if something's in Spanish, or even... I know Italian is not the same thing as Spanish, but it's... those I get... But French, there's letters that are there for no apparent reason, and I don't know how I'm supposed to know not to pronounce some, and you do pronounce others. So French is the hardest for me, and, I think everyone knows that.
I've often found it difficult to be around French people.
The French Canadians, especially, they're their own breed.
The worst of the French.
Right.
Wait, I have a question with Jeopardy. When they say, like, let's go to the judges.
Yeah.
Is that one guy sitting there? Is that like a room full of people, like, looking up stuff,
It's a group.
And are they giving you a thumbs up? Like, what
there's
happens
a lot
there?
of thumbs ups that happen because, so, I mean, there's a whole art, which is, I think it's so fascinating, like how a show like Jeopardy is constructed, like the number of pieces and opinions and things that go into every single clue. So for certain things, they'll already list other acceptable answers for things where a couple answers are acceptable, or they'll make a note if like, oh, if they say this, they need to be more specific, right? So I'm like learning those things, but sometimes they'll come up with something and I'm just like, I don't know. And so, yeah, I have a light that turns green if it's a go and if it turns red if it's not.
Wow, so you just
right
like
in
speak to the judges like, judges, what do you think?
No,
and then you just look for the light.
They're looking at a camera that's very close to my face and I do not have a poker face. Like, you know, I'm like a cartoon character. Like you see every thought that happens. So they can tell if I'm like, you know, and then I'll get but yes, there are judges. We sometimes shut down for close to an hour over one decision. So you don't see that. You just see that like, oh, they rule on this. But any episode where we correct someone's score, like the judges have ruled that mahogany is also an acceptable tree that begins with an M or whatever it is. That usually means we've shut down for like an hour.
Wow. But as it played on the show, it was just like, judges, yes, good.
Correct.
Or
and
like,
I'll
we
say
changed
like,
that.
after
Really?
review, we're adding, you know, that happened in, we just had the college, you know, championship. And that happened where it was like literally mahogany, some tree. And, yeah, and it can change the course of the game. And, you know, I mean, I saw the movie Quiz Show. I know how intense this is. There's a lawyer on set all day, a lawyer from Standards and Practices. It's there to imagine going to law school and you get placed sitting on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
They just sit and make sure that everything's kosher and, you know.
A guy I went to high school with ended up on Standards and Practices at Dancing with the Stars. And he was in charge of making sure that I had covered up the tattoos on my knuckles, which said shit and fuck.
Wow.
That's that guy's job.
Yeah, was that his only job? Does he also make sure it's not like too sexual?
In general, right, in general. But that fell under the umbrella.
There
How
are
do you
no
know?
such tattoos on your knuckles.
I since had them lasered off.
I figured. I mean, it doesn't.
They outlived
he
their
told you that?
usefulness. He did, yeah.
That's great.
And he was a great guy, too.
They did a great job, by the way.
Yeah, well, thank you. You can still see the eye right
Yeah.
there. Shit went in a little bit deeper.
You don't miss those tattoos?
I loved them. You know, it's crazy that I wanted to say how my mom and I used to bond over Jeopardy, and she was so good at it. I mean, it was just an exercise in me losing every time. But we loved it. And also, my mom, the last time she laughed was when I showed her shit fuck on my knuckles. She said, "My son is a shit fuck." And I lost my mom in 2003. But yeah, she was great, and she loved Jeopardy. It's really, really cool. What an institution.
Oh, I mean, it's its own legacy.
You said that Jeopardy falls into kind of what your norm was with sitcoms, which was living season to season. But having said that, you did pretty well with shows that made it from season to season.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I definitely, in that sense, this kind of job or potential job is different, you know, than being an actor. Like there's so many more things at stake for a company when they, you know, try and decide like who's the face of this brand. You know, also like being female, you know, it's like, it's very different. We've never had that. So that's, you know, different. You know, I didn't grow up seeing anybody that looked like me on television, much less in the streets of the city that I lived in. So it's also like, it's kind of cool to be like a quirky person who has always been super different, and to get to kind of be, you know, on a very mainstream, you know, thing. Like it's kind of cool and scary, but mostly cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
With like television kind of feeling like it's going the way of the dodo. Is there a streaming platform that is sort of propping up the
For Jeopardy, you mean?
Yeah. Like,
I think that's probably, you know, beyond my scope of, you know, business understanding and things. But
maybe I'm completely wrong.
No,
Maybe,
I think that's sort of, you know, when I was, you know, originally hired, you know, to work as part of the Jeopardy family, I was basically brought on to host like the primetime stuff. And in theory, if other things go on and into streaming places, but you know, due to all the things that happen, you know, I ended up moving more into the syndicated role, but, people really like to watch Jeopardy.
Yeah, I bet.
Like it's a very...
I watch it on YouTube while I drive.
Yeah.
Wow.
right, so there's that.
Probably should be focusing on the road.
People watch it. They watch it like live. Like a lot of people want to watch that. So, it's one of those kind of American television institutions. You know,
it almost falls like in the sports category a little bit, where you want to watch it live and like
exactly, it's like outside of the realms. And I think because it's on every blessed night, it's kind of like it's not the kind of thing you catch up on the weekends. Like you're kind of either in it or you're not.
Right.
And then if there's like a long running champ, like we had Amy, then that'll happen. That people, like you want to see what happens. I mean, here's the thing, like every game feels exciting to me because I'm getting to watch in real time, like three people super excited and competitive and like holding information that like I have no idea how they know all the things. Yeah. It's insane. I mean,
impressive.
It's another level. It's not even like you could be like, oh, if I start learn. No, these are people. Their brains they're special.
Yeah.
They're wired to hold that.
I'm not smart enough to remember to say what is before you every sentence.
Imagine having to remind people of that and like tell them it's wrong in Double Jeopardy. If they don't say it, it's actually considered a wrong answer.
Right. You got to make it in the form of a question.
It's very stressful, though. Oh, my mom had never watched Jeopardy, which we found out because when my first episode aired, I literally posted a series of texts where she was like, "You look amazing," whatever moms say when you're on Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Why is everything in the form of a question? That's literally what she asked me. I was like, because that's the show. No, but what? This was a text. No, but why is it? I'm like, no, the show is about, you phrase it as a question. She didn't know.
Am I right that they always had Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune go back to back?
Yeah, it's actually this, we share a crew.
7 and 7:30.
Yeah, we share a crew. They're right across the street. So my like Sony credentials on one side says Jeopardy, on the other side says Wheel of Fortune, which is just kind of cool.
Wow.
Cool. So you can just sneak onto the Wheel of Fortune set?
No, because of COVID. Once COVID is, quote, over, I'm going to be everywhere.
Right.
I'm going to be on the wheel, spinning around.
And Vanna White is still doing the letters?
She's still, and they both look like they've been...
Pat Sajak.
They look like they haven't aged.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if you get close enough, they look like they've aged, but they look unbelievable. I don't know what happens on that stage, but I should hang out there more.
I heard about Pat Sajak. He was Good Morning Vietnam. That's who it was. When Robin Williams played his character, he was like a disc jockey for the Vietnam War.
It was based off of Pat Sajak?
I could be completely fucking lying about that, but
I love this story.
But I think that's... if we can confirm that, I think that's what...
I mean, you want me to look it up on my phone or something?
I don't know.
It's...
I'll look it up, I guess.
What a weird fact to not be 100% certain about.
Well, you'd be surprised. Scott will throw something out. If you challenge it for 1 second, he's like, I could be making that up.
It's like, that's really bold. Okay.
I just did it. So we can find that out, but...
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, dude. Paul is going to the good old-fashioned internet to get some accurate information, which I am a big fan of. I like accurate information so much, I wear the most sophisticated fitness tracking device known to man. It's called Whoop, and I'm telling you, it's good. Plus, they've got the new Whoop Band 4.0, which actually now keeps track of my blood oxygen, my skin temperature. I mean, this thing is incredible. I get all of the information that I could ever want about what's going on with my body, from how well I'm sleeping, how much time I'm spending in each different stage of sleep, to how many calories I'm burning, precisely which activities I'm doing to burn calories. I'm sleeping better, I'm getting better rest, I know how hard to push myself on any given day because my Whoop app is telling me. This Whoop app membership is the best thing that has happened to my fitness in years, and I want you to try it, especially because the new Whoop 4.0 is so awesome. It's got the waterproof charger, slides right on top, so I never have to take it off. It's always bringing in data to let me know how to optimize my fitness. So now I can get you 15% off your membership. And if you're a new member, you get the Whoop 4.0 band absolutely for free with the membership. I mean, all you got to do is go to whoop.com. That's WHOOP.com, and use the promo code STEVO at checkout for 15% off of your membership. And again, new members, they get the Whoop 4.0 band absolutely for free, and that does come with the waterproof charger. So take charge of your health. Get in the game, man. Rest better, work better, play harder, do it all better. And it's at whoop.com with the promo code STEVO. Now, let's see what we learned. So going back to your acting, when like the your first gig was 1987.
Yeah.
So that would have made you like 9 or something.
No. I started acting when I was 11 in 1986, and I was cast in a horror film, Pumpkinhead. It was a Stan Winston movie. It's terrifying. Like, I couldn't even see it. It was that terrifying. I didn't like horror movies. Pumpkinhead. Yeah, it's a real classic from the vaults. I mean, I think I have like 3 lines. I was like Wallace Kid number 5. Is
that one of those cult classics that people go to Comic-Cons?
in those arenas. Like, I have a friend who's super in. He's like, oh yeah, you were in Pumpkinhead. I know that. Like, okay. And then I was cast in Beaches about a year after I started acting, and I played the young Bette Midler. And then after that, I did Blossom from 14 to 19. And then I left the industry. I, went to college and grad school. I had kids, and then I came back, did Big Bang Theory for 9 years, and then I've been on Call Me Kat.
How does leaving the industry, like, that's you think of child stars, and so often it's like a really tragic story about how, like, all of a sudden the entertainment industry was finished with them, and then everything went sideways. And so you finished Blossom, and you were like, okay, I'm good now. I'm going to go to college and become a neuroscientist.
I mean, the short answer is, yeah, kind of. I come from an immigrant family. Like, my grandparents are immigrants, and so, like, I was taught you go to college. Like, that's what you do.
Right.
Especially as a woman. Like, if you don't have to be cleaning the floors of the house that you moved into because you married this dude and you're his property, go to college. Like, if you have a different life, take it. So I was 2 years out of high school when Blossom ended, and I was definitely not really like I was never really comfortable in Hollywood. Right. I wasn't really interested in like the fame part of it. That was really intimidating, and I wanted to go to college. I wanted to like be judged for the work that I did with my brain, and not just sort of what money I could make for whoever. I had an amazing tutor for biology when I was on the set of Blossom, and I fell in love with science. I was not a natural science student. It was very, very hard, and it was difficult all the way through grad school. Like, I wasn't that kind of brain that was like, I got this. Like, it was very, very hard the whole way through. I did 5 years undergrad. I did a minor in Hebrew and Jewish studies, and then I met the person that I ended up dating for 5 years. We got married. We had 2 kids. I had my first in grad school, and I went straight to a doctorate program in neuroscience. And I had my second son, and then we were running out of health insurance because this is America. And I figured if I can just get like enough acting work, just literally to get some insurance. Like, I was teaching neuroscience, I was tutoring piano, I was tutoring Hebrew. Like, I had a baby strapped to my chest and was like, I was out. Like, I didn't know what size clothes I wore, just like whatever I put. My hair was like, I had like long hippie chick hair. I was living, my best life. I didn't have to wear a bra if I didn't want to. Like, it was great. And I had never seen The Big Bang Theory. Like, it was one of the first auditions I went on when I kind of like tried to start auditioning again. And, it was a guest spot. I was in the season finale of season 3 of Big Bang. And then, 9 years later, and in that time I got divorced, my dad died. Like, my kids got older, it's like a whole other life,
Right.
So like not what I was planning, and also amazing.
Right. With you said a doctorate in neuroscience. Is that different from medical school?
Yeah. So I didn't have the grades to go to medical school. That's the God's honest truth. There's a class called organic chemistry, and that is the class that decides if you go to med school or not. And I could not. I mean, I think B- was like the highest grade I was able to get in, the full year and a half of organic chemistry I had to do. I ended up going to graduate school. That's a doctorate. So what that means is there's like a core curriculum of graduate work in neuroscience, which is neuroanatomy and biochemistry and molecular neuroscience and all those things. And then you do rotations, you work in a laboratory, and then you choose a field of study. And a doctorate is original research, meaning research that has not been done before, that you do over a period of time of your graduate work. And that's why it takes about 6 or 7 years for my department. And I had, let's say I did 2 years of coursework, then you take qualifying exams. I had to do remediation on 2 because there's a certain way of thinking and communicating that doesn't come naturally to me. I'm not a natural scientist. So it was definitely a slog. And then I had my first son after I finished my coursework, was in data collection. I studied obsessive compulsive disorder, which is a real hoot.
I have that really bad.
Do you? I won't ask for your blood or your spit.
There's different kinds. His is more like he has to respond to emails.
Oh,
which really
that's the
works
compulsiveness.
well.
So yeah.
Or, but I'll say something and I'm like, did I really say that? And then I'll just second guess like something somebody told me.
That definitely. I'm not formally diagnosing, but yes, that will occur on that spectrum.
That roadcaster that's recording all of our sound would probably get checked 300 times in the course of the podcast to make sure it's still on.
All right, so we're moving into moderate OCD. You want to give me another one?
When I was younger, when you're driving in the car and then there's the line and then the bumps in the street, I'd have to like point my finger in between every one.
So what? Yeah. Okay. So you're my people. So what happens if you don't?
Nothing.
What does it feel like?
Well, I've gotten over to the point where like I can work it out and I won't do it.
No, but like, do you feel like the earth might end? Like,
well, now I guess if I don't respond to an email, it's just like it looks so bad and terrible.
Yeah.
But enough about. Hey, did Pat Sajak ever get back to you on that question? Or
Pat Sajak was a DJ in Vietnam, but he is not the one that movie is based on. There was a show called Dawn Busters with a DJ named Kroner, and he would start every show saying, "Good morning, Vietnam."
I like your story better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll cut that out.
Wait, also one more OCD question. Do you have a number?
No, my no. My
What's
lucky
that
number
mean?
6. I'm not like a number OCD person.
But we have to like turn the knob 4 times or
No,
things
like
like that.
people. Well, so I lived my whole life just being the person I was, and it wasn't until I had a psychiatrist who asked me some very specific questions that I realized, oh my god, not everyone does this. He was assessing me. I was in college, and he was like, "Do you have a number?" And I was like, "Of course I do." He's like, "Tell me more." And I was like, "Well." So I didn't know that not everybody has. I was like, yeah, I count breaths, I count steps. It's like, and he's like, oh, okay, I have to touch things. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 is mine. I like 9 because it's 333. But I thought everybody has a number and counts their breaths and steps. And he's like, just very special people like you. So
Wow. And so that went in. That's why you became a neuroscientist.
So it's funny. No. And also that's the field of study I ended up with because I'm a vegan neuroscientist. And that means the choices for research, if you don't want to work on animals, are quite small. So
Yeah.
one of the choices of human labs, that you can work in my department if you don't want to work with animals, was a lab studying the field of mental retardation, and like Prader-Willi syndrome was the syndrome that I worked with, and they have very high rates of OCD. So I studied it in this particular population.
Wow,
So
I'm
is that
so
different?
interested.
Is that different than what you did because Steve had drugs tested on him as a human?
Yeah, I signed up for a medical study for FDA approval.
Oh,
And I mean, anything that's ever going to come in contact with the human body, they have to test it.
for sure.
And if you're testing a toothpaste, you might get like $10.
Yeah.
But
What'd you
I had-
test?
I had drugs for pigs and cows tested on me, so I got $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were the drugs supposed to do?
It was supposed to increase the muscle mass and decrease the fat of cattle to
It was the 80s.
to
Did it
appeal
work?
to a more health conscious consumer.
There's so much ironic about what you just said.
Right.
Did it work?
They
Did
knew
you-
it was going to increase our heart rate. And the target of the study was to give us the drug until somebody's resting heart rate was over 150 beats per
No,
minute.
that doesn't feel okay.
Yeah, it was dangerous, and that's why they paid so well. The more danger, the more money.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
they write in, I wanted to be the gnarly crazy guy.
Yes,
so
that's-
this was like right in the narrative that I was trying to spin.
What was your heart rate? Do you remember?
Mine never went over 90, I don't think.
Mine does
like, are you
170
awake,
before
sir?
I go up on stage.
I make him
Oh.
open for my shows, and his watch tells him his heart rate is
Don't
like...
do that to
It's like
him.
169, 170.
Isn't it good for you? It's like exercising.
Not good for you. Jesus.
I thought it's like
How bad is
exercise.
it
Get
for
your
me?
heart rate up.
We need to call HR. You and I need to call HR.
My cortisol
HR.
levels are through the
Are you
roof.
kidding me?
Right, I mean...
But do you normally have like a blood pressure issue?
Well, lately because I gained some weight.
Until he
needs
loses
those
that
pills.
weight, do not put
Am
him
I
in that
gaining
situation.
weight because my cortisol levels are so high?
I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons. I don't know.
I think it's got a lot
Are
to
your
do with all
cortisol
the
levels
pasta.
elevated?
Doesn't it do that when you're like heart rate,
Oh,
you're
well,
stressed?
cortisol it's a stress marker. I mean, I have so many questions for you. Do you go to therapy?
I used to. I probably should.
How's that going for you?
I bite my nails quite a bit.
Same. I'm a chronic nail biter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good boy.
Struggle's real.
When you were taking the organic chemistry,
Organic chemistry. Yeah.
organic chemistry, what was
I
your
cried a lot.
Was that at Whole Foods?
Was your hope to get very good grades and become a doctor at
Yeah,
that point?
I actually wanted to go into psychiatry. This was in an era before everyone hated psychiatry. I was interested in really more the therapeutic side of psychiatry. If I were to do anything, I wasn't really interested in the institution of the medical field just because it was the beginning of, what we've kind of seen it become. It's like they're more business people, they have to get like MBAs at, just to be a medical doctor now. And just insurance is such a mess. And I think it's such a disgrace that, a country as wealthy as ours can't do it. But I wanted to work with people with psychiatric conditions. And so that was actually my interest. And so, that kind of pivot is like one of those moments where you're like, oh, my mom was wrong. I can't do anything I want if I set my mind to it. Yeah. It's kind of like I also couldn't learn to be a concert pianist at, 19 if I wanted to. It's just that's not how it works,
Right.
I mean, I'm an okay pianist, but you can't just be like, I'm going to make my brain do like my mom said I can.
Right.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be a doctor, but in hindsight, you're glad that you're not.
Yeah, I mean, you can still call me doctor, but
cool.
I mean, you don't have to. But no, I mean, I do. Cool. I hold a doctorate. It's a doctor of philosophy in neuroscience is the title of
You're
a
not
doctorate.
an MD.
So I'm not an MD. No,
Right.
like if you say, is there a doctor on the on the plane or whatever? Like, no.
Let me tell you, it does not take a doctor to tell you that you're going to be healthier if you drink more water, right? And especially if you're drinking a lot of soda, then cut it out with that crap and switch to Liquid Death sparkling water. You're going to be a much healthier person, and you're actually going to be a lot happier too. But let me get serious for a second here, because I just learned that 75% of all aluminum ever created in the history of the world is still in circulation, being recycled, being useful, and only 9% of plastic ever gets recycled, and it's just creating this big plastic monster that's filling up the ocean, killing wildlife, and destroying the world. You want to know why this company's called Liquid Death? Because it's time to bring death to plastic, because plastic is killing the world, and Liquid Death is saving the world at the same time as they're making you much healthier and happier. I love this company. I'm behind it all the way, and they are the most generous one of my sponsors ever, because they're giving you free shipping for your entire order of water and merch. And boxes of water are pretty heavy, but they love you so much you don't even have to pay for that shipping. Why lug water around from the store when it can show up at your house with free shipping? Man, I love this company. And to get this deal, all you got to do is go to liquiddeath.com/Stevo. Once again, that's liquiddeath.com/Stevo. If you love me, if you love this podcast, and if you love yourself and or the world, you're going to go to liquiddeath.com/Stevo right now and jump on this offer. There you go. Now, let's hear about the doctors.
No, yeah, you're staying silent.
I mean, like, I'll hold your hand and rub your back.
Right.
So you're like a Sam Harris. Are you familiar with Sam Harris?
I was in class with Sam Harris.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
We went to neuroscience to neuroscience grad school together. We were colleagues.
Wow, do you
that's
guys still
great.
stay in touch?
Yeah, I actually had him on my podcast. He was one of our first guests we had. We were a class of like 18 or something, and several of us, didn't stay, as it were, in traditional neuroscience research positions. But Sam worked in brain mapping, which is actually where I did my undergraduate training. So, yeah.
Super cool.
Because Sam got really into meditation. Do you meditate at all with being a neuroscientist?
Yeah.
and
So
brain mapping?
I'm a person who, I grew up with mental health challenges in a time when nobody talked about it. It was just like, your parents told you when you were hungry, when you were happy, when you were cold. Like,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
a very different time. And then I, got into therapy and sort of started, being medicated in various ways, by the establishment. I mean, from the time I was a teenager, because we just couldn't figure out, what was wrong, as it were. So, my story is like a lot of people's. It's been a constant journey, there's been times when I have not been on medication. I am on medication now. I have a lot of mixed feelings about that.
Me too. I'm on medication.
Yeah, I thought you meant you have mixed feelings about me being on medication. No, but the other things I do is I do go to therapy. I go twice a week. I do participate in 12-step programs. Alcohol is not my allergy, but other things are, and I have decided to sort of break my anonymity, and I do talk about that, about the kind of support and really the changes in your behavior that do help your brain rewire, in addition to medication, all the other things. And lo and behold, meditation is one of those things that takes care of a lot of the somatic stuff. Like, I started having heartburn, which like anyone living in our society during, I think the last 10 years, probably has had some freak out or reaction to anything coming out of Washington, D.C. in any direction. And I started getting heartburn and was instructed to up my meditation or like try and take it more seriously.
What kind of meditation?
It went away. So I am not a transcendental meditation person. I do not really, I respect that form of meditation, but the interaction I've had is like, you pay a lot of money for like a mantra, and I haven't felt the need to do that. I use a free app that should pay me. I don't, I'm happy for them to.
Yeah.
I use Insight Timer, and what it is it's a free app. I don't pay for anything on there. I mean, I make donations to, and there's like a search bar, and you put in whatever you're feeling or experiencing, even if it's like back pain, and it just pulls them up, and it's like, oh, I want a 10-minute one. And that's what I do. I try and do a meditation at lunch at work, when I'm filming, like no matter what, even if it's like a 5-minute one or whatever, I do that. And then I try and do one at night also. Yeah, it's one of those things that the science absolutely backs up what thousands of years of Eastern philosophy. And it's like it's kind of like, oh, here's the research. It's like you don't need the research. Like this is like it's completely legit that it completely changes the oxygen. Like it's not magic. I mean, there's a mystical element to a transcendental experience, and I've had experiences when not, on drugs that are outside of the realms, I would say of quantifiable human experience. Like I've experienced things that I cannot explain in meditative states. But again, I don't necessarily think that there's like, magic to it. Like it is open to everyone to learn to breathe, and that's really what,
Scientifically,
yeah, like, you want the research.
What is going on? Like when you meditate and your back hurts, but you can fix that with meditation.
Yeah.
Is that because your back hurts just because you're stressed or,
So, I mean, that's like, this is one of my favorite things to talk about.
Cool.
I'll try and give it, like the most kind of concise, like my understanding as I've been instructed. So, many people have what is now kind of collectively called in the field, they're calling it mind-body syndrome. And what it means is it's not in your head. The word psychosomatic makes people feel like, oh, you think I'm lying, right?
It's a synonym for pussy.
Exactly, right. It's like toughen up, right? No, but if you've ever known someone who has a nervous stomach and like before a date, they like lose the contents of like have to go to the bathroom and lose the contents. That's exactly what mind-body syndrome is. However, for some people, it lodges not in their stomach, but in their back. Or it will lodge, in the form of migraines. Or, like there was a time in my life when they were certain I had irritable bowel syndrome. I was just extremely stressed in a way that my body completely needed to indicate. And I've, after I moved through that period of I've never had it since, right? But if I had taken the classic Western approach, like you have IBS, medicine, this, like make your life crazy, you can't eat anything anymore, your life is miserable, I would have gone down a whole other, track. So what I've done is kind of pursue scientifically legitimate therapy it's called somatic therapy, where they work with your overall anxiety. It's often from trauma or stress. And the idea is to lower your baseline so that you do not essentially feel things in your body as intensely. People are like, oh, I'm an empath. Like that is real. It's real that some people feel things more deeply and manifest them in their body. And I'm not saying you can cure the cancer with your brain, but what we do know is that the more we support this kind of health, the better our immune system functions and the better we function in general. The shorter answer is that there's an autonomic nervous system that is in your body that you are programmed with that teaches you to calm down, and it's something that's in mammals. Like it's not like a special human thing. And that kind of breath work and that kind of increase of oxygen, and like most of us don't even breathe all the way through, right? We just we breathe with our shoulders, right?
Everyone just started breathing.
Right, but what it does is it tells that part of your nervous system to dial everything down. Like it lowers your blood pressure. Like it does all those things. And that's true. It's not, and there's people who are like, oh, your brain waves this. I'm happy to have people do brain studies up the wazoo. But like, that's kind of all you need to know. Everyone's moving too fast. We're all processing too much information. No one has attention for anything. And nothing's been recording this whole time.
I think this camera just died though. I got that.
The breathing different ways can help me fall asleep too.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, no one feels good when you're breathing as if you're scared. And I remember that's actually specifically what was happening. I'm not trying to be political, but for me, when certain things were happening in our last presidential experience, I was waking up feeling terrified, like literally not even a cognitive fear. I was feeling like something was threatening me.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's because I'm reading the news like right before bed, and
Right.
it activates, and some people might watch horror films, read the news, like, and be like totally fine. I'm not that person. So instead of me like trying to fit my life to be like all those other people who are fine, I'm just gonna like stop watching the news and being on social media and hating myself all day.
Right.
And lo and behold, my heartburn went away.
Wow.
Yeah, they said babies breathe with their stomachs because they're not stressed.
Right.
The humans breathe with their chest.
Well, yeah, because like the world is terrifying,
I haven't taken a breath since you asked that question.
Jeez.
I'm so interested in so much of this, but with vegan,
You're like, but let's get back to Jeopardy.
no, no, not at all, not at all. With that vegan and science sort of being your focus.
Mm-hmm.
Does it drive you crazy to no end the way the animal rights community twists science and like like you see these various
I'm a safe vegan. Like you
Right.
can tell me all the things that bother you.
yeah, I mean you see
You don't want to see the sad cow eyes. They're very
no,
sad.
I don't mind that. I don't mind. I wish that they would just do that. What bothers me is when you've got these vegan documentaries which are saying, "Oh, sugar doesn't cause diabetes; it's
Right,
animal
animals,
product."
right.
And it's like, wait a second. For all the people who are becoming vegan because of this misinformation coming out of these vegan documentaries, and then all of a sudden, these people realize, oh, wait a second. That wasn't true.
Well, right. So, I mean, there are a lot of vegan documentaries, and also not necessarily vegan ones, but just ones about like Food Inc. and things like that, about kind of like factory farming, which I think
sure.
everyone should just know about. It's like,
Absolutely.
and I think it kind of like it takes all kinds, right? You never know what's going to impact someone or make them make a change. For me, like I don't feel like I have a personal agenda, around making other people vegan. But I know that for a lot of people, that a lot of vegans do. I think that the general guidelines I feel like that everyone should be going by is we're all eating too much processed food.
Yes.
No matter what. We're all eating too much salt and too much sugar.
Yes.
And we're not eating enough things the way the good Lord made them, right? The way the earth produces them. So
For sure.
that's true for everyone. And my thing is also like, I don't believe that everyone needs to be vegan. That's not my goal. What I do think is that, we should hold our government much more responsible for the way they help us eat. And in particular, the notion that the cheapest food is what is often most kind of subsidized and which also does tend to give people a lot of diseases that otherwise might be preventable, that is a shame, but I know why people eat fast food. It's because, well, it's delicious, right? And it is convenient and it's inexpensive.
Right.
So as long as we keep incentivizing, that kind of and as long as that is subsidized in large parts by a government that's like, we promise it's good for you, we're going to continue to have a tremendous health crisis.
For sure.
So I do believe that even small things like this notion of meatless Mondays, even the notion that you don't need to eat meat 3 times a day, like I promise, and I think, and I'm really not a conspiracy person, but when you look at kind of the general marketing of meat and dairy in particular, it's like it's true. We've all been told this is how it is. Like your teeth are going to fall out if you don't drink milk 3 times a day is what I was raised with, right?
Yeah.
Like my bones are going to break and I'll be laying in the street like a boneless,
Right.
And that's actually not true. Is one of the easiest ways to get calcium to drink a big glass of the milk of another animal? Yes. Nobody's like, let me strain the beans to get the calcium. I have to eat beans 72 times a day. Nobody wants that.
Right.
But to me, like, I don't like to be lied to.
Right. That's my point.
Especially by a government. I just don't like that.
Right.
So to me, like, you can be honest. You can be like, there's a lot of ways to get calcium, and here's the one that we're going to subsidize because it's good for the farmers.
Right.
And I have family that lives and works on a dairy. Like I have family in Israel that lives on a kibbutz, and there's a dairy there. So like I've spent time there. I've worked in the dairy. I've helped cows give birth. Like I've done all the things.
Right.
Pretty much everyone who works there is vegan. It's kind of
And I believe too that with factory farming, the most horrific of all of it for me is the dairy.
Well, I mean, the treatment of the workers themselves should also bother us.
Right.
Because like Karl Marx was right about a couple things. And when you want to make the most product for for the least amount of money and the most profit for the people at the top, everyone below that will suffer.
Right.
The things that are making the product, which is in this case the animals, but also the workers that are doing that work. And there was a wonderful expose, I think it was in Harper's years ago, about the injuries and things that happen to people who routinely work in these kind of factories. Like the turnover is like so rapid because like their bodies, like it's not humane. You know, it's not humane to work in a factory like that. Like it's not humane for the animals or the people.
What's happening? People are getting like hit with.
Oh yeah, no, it's like if
your
your job is like repeatedly to hack with a, you know, I don't remember the thing, you know, like literally it's like wrist injuries, hands, like all these like elbows and shit. Like they just can't work. You can work there for like a year or something, and then like your body just gives out,
right?
Because it's it's this like repetitive motion, and like, you know, the unions like in the whole situation with that, and it's like, oh, you can't get this break. It's nuts.
Yeah,
it's totally nuts.
I
Not to mention like forced birth control for women, because like we can't have women get pregnant. It's inconvenient for factory work, you know. Like, that still goes on.
So to be an employee, you have to be on birth control, kind of a thing.
I'm not speaking to specific factories, but absolutely, like, I don't mean to be such a downer. I thought we were going to have fun, but yes, that is still something. And to me, like, if you want to talk about like women's issues, this is one of them. There are women, you know, in this country and beyond, who work in places where they are not permitted to have, you know, free will with their body.
Yeah, wow, I never heard of that. That's crazy.
I believe that goes on
for sure.
With the tying together the, you know, animal rights with the human human rights. I went to Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College.
I literally need to talk to you about that so much.
I'll be happy to.
So much.
I'll be happy to do that. We can do that on your podcast.
My company is called Sad Clown Productions.
I love it.
Like a clown thing.
I love it. And you know, that was when my sort of journey with animal rights began, because there was one day at Clown College that I remember they had the PR department of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus come visit us, and they said, you know, some of you are gonna, you know, become employed by the greatest show on earth, and and your job is going to be to promote the circus in advance of it arriving in certain cities. So that means you're going to be doing interviews, and during these interviews there are going to be questions that you get asked from time to time about animals and animal rights and the condition of the animals. And they said, in that situation, you have no answer.
Correct.
You shut up.
Well, and they just, I mean, it's been a huge revolution for Ringling, but like, it's been a huge, I think, 2 or 3 years, I guess, that, you know, and, you know, to me, like, I grew up, the first house we lived in was above the Hollywood Bowl. Like, I'm a very, like, LA, you know, I literally grew up behind the Hollywood Bowl, and Ringling Brothers would set up in the parking lot across from where we lived, and at night we would hear the animals, and like, it was a tremendous thrill, especially for a kid growing up. We didn't have any money. Like, the circus was actually one of the things that we could, like, do. You know, I remember I had, like, I remember having like my first candy bar. It was like, I remember sitting in the stands, you know, across from the Hollywood Bowl at the, you know, under the big top. Like, so as I became a vegan, obviously it became much more complicated. And then like, oh, Cirque du Soleil came to town. It's like, oh, for $8,000, you can enjoy a circus with no animals. But like that very quickly became cost prohibitive. Yeah. So the fact that like we've had such a, you know, a revolution and that, you know, they've kind of come back. It's very exciting because there is so much, I believe, to enjoy, and there will be people who are like, what about the good old days? And it's like, well, it's like, I think Tiger King kind of like did it for
Yeah,
that was the nail in the coffin.
But my experience when those people said, you know, you have no opinion about animals, you're a clown, you fall down, you know, you're not you're not allowed to voice an opinion about animals. And hearing that, my gut feeling was, wow, I feel like we're being told that they're doing really wrong things with animals. And that was back in 1997, and I ended up working.
You can't have the people having opinions, you know? They might rise up.
Especially the clowns.
I never worked for the Ringling Circus, but I did work for another circus that had 3 animals and a tiger, and my personal experience was just that it was awful. You know, I felt that, like, from my perspective, the owners of the circus I worked in were more afraid of the elephants than anybody else, and they were very, you know, like,
they are enormous creatures. Also, the largest vegan on the planet is an elephant.
Cool.
Yeah, but those are creatures that are, you know, they're not made, you know, to do those things.
They're made to walk, I want to say 80 miles or 100 miles per day. They're not made to be chained to a post and transported around on a train.
I mean, look, this is a consciousness that we have now. Like, remember that, like, there was like, my mother was told to smoke during pregnancy. Like, can we all just remember? Like, it was like, it's
Very
good for,
good
yeah,
point.
it is good for digestion.
Virginia
it's a diuretic.
Slims.
It's a diuretic. Like, that's, coffee and cigarettes after a meal. Yeah, it makes you poop because it's a diuretic. Like, so this
great.
this consciousness, though, it's new. And the fact is, when I became a vegetarian, when I left my parents' home at, 19, like, people thought I was insane.
Right.
They're like, this is the stupidest thing. And like, I'm not saying like I was right, but like I also like was like, why do we keep using plastic bags every time we go to the grocery? And I had this like stupid canvas bag.
That's
Or like,
great.
you're nuts. And now it's like, oh, they're going to charge you if you want to use a plastic bag.
Right. I love that.
I was
That's
right
a good
about
point.
the
Like
canvas bags.
back in the day, they just didn't
Am I gonna
really
be late?
know.
Yeah, I'm going to be
you
late.
know?
Okay. Sorry, I have
All
another
right.
interview I have to go home for.
We're going to have to continue the conversation on
I'm
your
having a
podcast.
great time.
Me
Yeah,
too.
this is
Me
really
too.
fascinating.
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah,
And,
my podcast is all like mental health and wellness stuff,
Great.
but like I cannot wait to talk to you.
I love it. What?
I mean-
How many episodes have you done?
Done about 80, I guess.
Okay, cool.
And it was like something that my partner Jonathan Cohen and I started during COVID because our mental health was suffering, and we were like, ours is suffering, and we have resources and therapists. Like, what about all the people who are like, what is this terrible feeling in my stomach every day when I wake up? It's like, oh, you've never felt anxiety. Welcome.
Yeah.
So we started talking to people about, what they do, what works, what doesn't. I mean, you can tell I'm on a journey. So
So you've done, you said roughly 80 episodes, and are you like disciplined, like every week it goes up at a certain time?
yeah, apparently like consistency is
That's
like a
very
big thing.
important.
We used to come out twice a week, but then like when the Jeopardy thing happened, I was like, I don't know how to keep up.
Yeah, I
and
don't
we
know
also
how I
film
could
it.
do.
I have a YouTube channel, and we hit 1 million subscribers, which is a very big deal.
congrats.
We videotape it, which means like, you need to like sit up straight and like put on lipstick and, so we film it and do a whole audio thing. We're like a 4-camera operation. We like to say we are the nicest looking podcast. out there.
It's funny because we've done like 96 of them, and coincidentally, the last 2 that we're going to do will be you and Joey Lawrence.
Yeah.
When are you speaking to
We
Joey?
just had
We
Joey.
already
We
did.
just had him.
Yeah, he was the last one that we
Yeah.
did.
What a
I agree
heartthrob.
with the face you're making.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Was it just difficult to be around him on Blossom?
Oh,
Because
we
he's
teased him
so-
mercilessly.
Right, but that's what they call latency, right? Where like you're attracted to somebody, so you're mean to them.
No, he wasn't my type.
Oh yeah, so
He was all of our types in
I
the last
just
episode.
can't. I mean,
We were
I gotta,
sweating in there.
I got to imagine it was just physically uncomfortable to be around him.
No,
He's so
I was
attractive.
I was like a grungy feminist who like didn't shave my legs, and he
So
was
the-
like, "Ew, you're gross."
The
Like,
face you
like a
made getting all
brother.
excited at it. You just love Joey Lawrence.
Oh no, I just love that he exists.
Yeah,
like all of
he's-
us,
he's
like we were
amazing.
on this show, and it was like so iconic, and like
Yeah.
he's like larger than life. He's like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
incredible.
Like my sense of him is that there are certain people who have in their career done like very family friendly, squeaky
Yes.
clean work.
Yeah.
And not necessarily been that way,
Yeah.
but he is that way.
Oh
like,
no, he's very yeah. I mean, he was raised in the industry, like really. I
Yeah.
watched him on Give Me a Break when I was a kid.
so well adjusted, such a just a solid good guy.
It's really
is my
funny.
impression
It's
of
so
him.
cool.
And
Beautiful.
I feel the same way about you.
Thank
I think
you. Oh, sorry.
like for all of the horror stories of child stars, it's
We had a really clean set also. That's the thing.
Right.
We grew up on a set where we didn't see drugs, we didn't see alcohol.
Right.
And we're I think both very grateful that I mean, that does make a big difference. We grew up on a very clean set.
I think there are plenty of clean sets that churned out very, very dysfunctional child
but
stars.
also like we all went to junior high and high school. Some
Right.
people have a hard time with drugs, alcohol, and mental illness, and
Right.
some people come from homes of abuse, and so
Right.
that happens. I knew kids who OD'd who weren't in the industry.
Right,
so
right, of course.
on that note, thanks for having me. It's been great.
Good night, Vietnam.
yeah, I love it. I loved it, and anytime you want me to do your podcast, that I'm available.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
eager.
just Heather's she's in charge of all things
Yeah, you
booking
can just
and
reach out to
Great.
me. And,
yeah, we just booked Seth Rogen, which is really
Wow.
Yeah, we had Matthew McConaughey, which he had no idea who I was.
Wow.
That
You're
was
getting some
hysterical. I was
heavy
like,
hitters.
It's like you have no idea who I am. He's like, no, ma'am, I don't. I was like, I don't know who had sex with who to get you to come on my podcast when you have no idea who I am, but welcome, Matthew McConaughey.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Great.
And we had
So
a great time
cool.
with him. We had a great time with him, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
I feel like I want to
sex with
drop a
Matthew
couple
McConaughey.
names of our biggest guests.
Oh, yeah? You wanna go
we
tip for
happen to
tat?
have had Mark Cuban.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
And he knew who
You had
we
Mike
were.
Ty-
Yeah, we had
yeah.
Mike
Oh, I wanna see
Tyson.
that.
Yeah.
We had Post Malone.
Okay, these are good names.
Yeah, but Matthew McConaughey and
We
Seth
would love to
Rogen,
get
that's
Matthew
epic.
McConaughey. And
Maybe
Yeah.
Seth Rogen will even know who I am.
Yeah, epic. Well, hey,
Anyway,
thank you
thank
so
you
much.
so
I
much.
look forward to
Thank you.
continuing the conversation.
Great to meet you, Mayim.
There you have it, man. Was she awesome or what, dude? I mean, I think she was surprised at how much she enjoyed us, and we were surprised at how much we enjoyed her. And I hope all of you guys are surprised by how much you enjoyed sticking around to the very end of this podcast, like the street team, man. It's been a long time since I said street team, but when I see you guys at my shows and you tell me street team, man, I just want to give you a hug and tell you I love you, because I really, really do love you. Thank you for sticking around, and have a blessed day. Hey everybody, and welcome to a fly wild ride with Steve-O. They don't fly much higher than the Birdman. I mean, this dude, he and I have a history, which you'll find out about. We recorded a rap song, The Wild Boys. It was me, Chris Pontius, and the legendary Sharkman Manny Puig at Birdman's house in Louisiana. The song was called From the Ghetto to the Swamp. And, man, I asked all the guys, like, do they have it? Nobody can seem to track it down, but we will hear about it from the Birdman himself. And it's just so rad that he remembers me as fondly as he does. The connection that we had with the representative who we shared, very crazy story. And there's a lot in this, and it's packed into a fairly short time. We didn't want to keep the Birdman for too long. So this is one of our shorter episodes, but it's also one of our best. So let's get into it.
Man, I'm trying to go get something to eat.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, you want to go?
I'm good, man. I just ate, but
right.
whatever you need, we got.
All
We're
right,
cool
big
with it.
facts. I'm with you. I'm with you, brother. I'm with
All
you.
right.
First of all, I appreciate you extending your hand to me.
Well,
You know, we go back a long ways.
20 years.
We go back a long ways, and I watch your come up,
That's right.
and that shit been very intriguing to me to watch how you came up.
Well, thank you.
It's different from how I came up.
we will get into it. And I'm going to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring to you Birdman, a.k.a. Baby.
Real talk, #1 stunner.
That's right. Number one stunner.
I live and I die by that. And I watch you come up, brother. Like, just like you watch mine. I think we really came up around the same time.
You got me by a good
Couple
bunch
of years. Yeah, come by a couple of years. But I still watch you be a wild, crazy guy that,
Yeah.
you know, that came up, and we was managed to come together, and you came to New Orleans, and I thought that was a great episode, just meeting each other, because I was a fan. I'm still as a fan, and just being a part of watching you come up and being a fan, that was intriguing when you came to New Orleans, because
Yeah.
I remember when you was in the studio
Yeah.
and you rapped. You understand? It was me, Wayne. That was Lil Wayne. You heard
Yeah.
me? Before we really blew. So that's what made me say, like, your come up was around our come up, because we still was in the come up stage
Yeah.
when we met.
Wait, can you guys explain like what happened?
Okay.
Like, what are you talking about?
We met in, I want to say it was 2004. We were filming Wild Boys, and I would not be surprised if the reason why we got together to film Wild Boys was because you and I were both clients of Vernon Brown.
Of course, Vernon Brown is a general.
Vernon Brown
He's
is
a general.
He is a boss.
He's a beast
Yeah.
on the business side, and
Yeah.
I still work with Vernon Brown till today.
I love that.
And he really covered me in the music business.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's just get right to it. I mean, Cash Money, is it correct that Cash Money Records has sold more than 1 billion albums?
Yes.
Which is
Unbelievable.
Like,
It's so great.
unbelievable.
Big
It's
facts.
been sold by far more albums than
Anybody ever in music history. Now, I say that respectfully,
biggest
and I
flex
say
ever.
that 'cause,
Yeah.
you know, I'm in a challenging business
Yeah.
that a lot of other men take on. I don't say that in spite of no man.
Of course.
I say that in respect to any man and every man, but we was able to do a little more than everybody that ever did the business.
Yeah, you say it as an objective fact with humility, and then what's even more staggering about Cash Money is that it, as I understand it, in order to become big in music, you always had to have a record label. But if you had a record label, it was basically impossible to own your own publishing and your masters.
Facts.
So prior to Cash Money, the only person who really did that was Master P. Is that about right?
See, the publishing and the record shit that's two different parts of music, right? So,
That's publishing and
don't
masters.
get me wrong, Master P did a great job. I always salute dude for his accomplishments. I respect him as a hustler and as a man. He did great, but I think what we did was a little bit different. Publishing, we didn't even, when we were just young, we didn't even know about none of that shit. You heard me? So when we got in the business, all we was trying to do was sell records and rap. And Vernon Brown was a guy who really took and taught about the business, and Manny Fresh and my brother, taught us about the business. But early on, we ain't know nothing about none of that shit.
Yeah.
Nothing about none of the business part of it. And once I got into it, and I completely stopped rapping, and I gave Wayne the flow, I wanted to go learn about the business. Once I learned about the business, then I realized, okay, because there's so much to learn. I'm still learning at this point in my life. So, it took time, a lot of time, but it took time for me to learn about the business and realize that, all right, this what we got, this what we got, this what we got, this what we could do, and this what we could do. By then, I was already caught up in bullshit by the time I learned about the business. But me and Wayne was able to just figure it out, and my brother Slim, we was able to figure it out. But it took me a time to learn it because I didn't know it.
Yeah. You did have the publishing, everything, like
I ain't know nothing about publishing.
Ah.
I ain't know nothing about publishing.
So you didn't, because the way that Vernon Brown described it to me, he said, you got your artists like, say Jay-Z, say whoever, they maybe they can sell more albums, but they got to sell 10 times more albums to make as much money as you're making with Cash Money, because by the fact of you owning the music, you're making.
I did own everything. I never allowed none of the labels to own nothing. I own everything.
Universal.
No, Universal never owned nothing. We own all our own music, publishers. So when I figured out and found out, I went and established what was missing and what was lost, because we always owned everything. Still today, I own 100% of my company. I own 100% of my masters. I never allowed Universal, and they gave me, and I got nothing but love and respect for Universal, because they never tried to take that from me. They gave me, and that was my consent that this is what I wanted to do, and they never tried to take that from me. And I know early on in other artists and other people's careers, not to say Universal, but they took that from them.
Yeah.
I never experienced that.
That's epic. Do you know, you had to have known that Vernon Brown was such a boss. Vernon Brown got me a record deal with Universal Music Group.
Thanks.
So yeah, I was making a comedy gangster rap album called Hard as a Rock.
But the real question is, when you guys were in the studio, what do you think of Steve's rapping skills?
Top 5.
Really though, honestly, I didn't even think about it. I thought he was just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I
love
didn't think that he was really trying to be a rapper.
Yeah.
I thought he was just having fun.
Yeah.
And him having fun, I was going to have fun with him. But I never thought that he was trying to be a rapper. I just thought he was just having fun.
Love it.
When you're first starting out, like you're on the come up and you're getting into the music world, how did you get such a good deal? Like being so new, how do you not get screwed going into that? Because a lot of people do. Because you own 100% of everything, and that seems like it's rare.
I just felt like I didn't feel like that. I lost so much to gain a little. I wasn't gonna let the labels take from me what I already lost. I lost my mama, my daddy, my brother, my sister. I lost so much to gain a little. So to me, either we gonna play ball my way or fuck it, because I was that confident about my success. I was super confident that we was gonna be successful. I believed in Wayne. I believe in Nicki. I believe in Drake. I believe in BG. I believed in Fresh. I believed in myself. So I believed in Juvenile for sure. I believed in what we had. So I was abundance to feel like we'll lose, and this is what we gonna do, and we gonna win. And that was my whole take on it. I ain't take no shots about it, and I believed in it, and I didn't give a fuck who didn't.
I think also the answer to that would be that you, from the beginning, were your own label. You were an independent label.
That's
you
a
were
fact.
your own, so
That's a
you
fact.
weren't. You didn't have a relationship with some big label to try
I
to
started
take
my
it in.
label at 16.
Yeah, you were your own deal.
I was 16 years old when I started Cash Money
Yeah,
Records.
so you made your own rules. You sold your
Yeah,
own
so
records.
right.
Nobody
So-
was in a position to take anything from
Nah,
you.
facts. So,
Yeah.
to me, I wasn't allowing none of that. Like, I had a hard upbringing, so none of that shit mattered. None of that shit meant nothing to me. I was 16 years old when I started my label, so this is what we doing. I had to put it in my mind and my heart. This is what we gonna do. We gonna get out the ghetto on music, and that's what we did.
Hey, when you're in a bad situation, you want to get out of it any way that you possibly can. And when that bad situation is a medical emergency, which may have arisen because you live adventurously, then why not be prepared in advance with this badass first aid emergency kit from the wellness company? It is not a run-of-the-mill first aid emergency kit. No. This comes with a tourniquet, anti-clotting powder, prescription burn cream. Like, there's actually 9 different prescriptions that you get with this thing, and all kinds of supplies for just about every imaginable situation you could be in. And it could save you an expensive trip to the emergency room where you're trying to convince a doctor to give you one of these prescriptions. You could be ready ahead of time. And if you want to get this ultimately badass first aid kit, then you go to twc.health/Stevo and use the promo code Stevo for not only 15% off this epic, compact, everything that you need emergency first aid kit, but you get free shipping too. So if you're an adventurous person like me, then I recommend this. I could have really used it when I got all burned up, when I had the staph infection. Could have saved me some medical bills and a trip to the doctor. But hey, you know what? You live and you learn, and wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So learn from my mistake by going to twc.health/Stevo and use the promo code Stevo for 15% off plus free shipping. Yeah, dude. Now let's get back to it. Yeah, and because you did it by yourself with no help from anybody else, then when you go into Universal, you've got the leverage
Facts.
to keep your publishing, to keep your...
Hey, but when I went to them, I ain't even know about publishing and all that. I ain't know about none of that. I went to them with, it was an attorney called, Theo. I think, not Theo, whatever his name was. I just was like, I ain't trying to give up nothing. Because I felt like I lost everything already, blood.
Yeah.
I lost my family. Nothing can repay me for what I already lost.
Yeah.
I lost my mama, my daddy, my brother, my sister. I've been in boys' homes. I was in Canada. I lived a hell of a life as a kid. So, I ain't think that none of that could be replaced. So I was like, this is what I want to do. If they want to do it, they want to do it. I want to own my shit. I'm going to own 100% of my shit. Because I was thinking about my little niggas and how because all I always remember how they took from everybody. I ain't want that to happen to me. And I thought I was doing it for everybody that it already happened to. So
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure it don't happen to me. And I could paint a picture one day when I'm not here or when God take my life, I was able to paint a picture that's a mold we need to follow.
Yeah.
And that was my mindset.
Yeah. Scott here, he told me about something that Andrew Carnegie said. He said the first third of your life is for making mistakes. The second third of your life is for making money. And the final third of your life is for giving that money
I can
away.
respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
And
That's a true analysis.
yeah.
But we gonna make mistakes. We human.
Yeah.
And we young.
Yeah.
And if we come across a lot of money at a young age, we gonna make a lot of mistakes.
Well, right, and for you, from what I understand, there was with the crack houses and with the jail and everything.
Big facts.
Yeah, like there were plenty of mistakes.
A lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I was in the boys' homes. I was adopted by a white family. I was in Canada. I lost my parents at a real young age. So for me, the streets would embrace me. So
Well,
that's
yeah.
a big mistake by itself. You understand? But being a part of that lifestyle and then coming about that lifestyle knowing that this ain't the lifestyle that I want to be in. So I got to choose a better lifestyle for myself and what I'm going to do to embrace these youngsters that's following me because I always was a leader. So I had to make choices.
Right. From what I can tell, you had a hard enough time and made enough mistakes and went to jail that because of all that hardship and because of that time in jail,
Jail made me
That-
better. It made me smarter.
yeah, you came out of jail and then you said, okay, now I'm going to take this record label so seriously and I'm not going to mess around with any crime, no drugs, no nothing. Nothing's going to jeopardize my label. Nothing,
Facts.
I'm not going to risk and if it weren't for everything that you had gone through, that maybe you wouldn't have taken the music so seriously.
Oh, of course. I think my my tribes and my hardship made me a better person, bro.
Yeah,
That with any human, like, did I want that? Fuck no. But did I need that? Maybe.
yeah,
It made me a better person.
yeah,
It made me see life different. All right? Because I was just young. I was young in the trenches. But I seen what that could bring to me if I wasn't smarter. And if I wasn't being a businessman or trying to be a businessman. And it made me change my life.
yeah. When you became like the cash money guy and you're taking it so seriously, but you've got artists that are just in war and the projects and with all the heroin and all that, like
Right.
it's got to be tricky. Like how many times you got to say to your artist like BG, like, hey man, like you got to cool it down, like
Big facts.
you got to like try and keep
Facts.
these guys that are at war, the hot boys. It's like, hey man, let's not
No,
be
big facts.
let's not be killers in the war and the projects. Let's turn it into a group, the hot boys.
Facts.
Yeah.
But the reality of it, the original Hot Boys was real.
Killers.
Yes, you heard me.
Yeah.
So when I named them the Hot Boys, my whole thing was to change their life,
Yeah.
and I think I did that because they were just rapping. They wasn't like the original Hot Boys
Yeah.
in no kind of way. They were just young guys that I say we're gonna name y'all the Hot Boys, and they wasn't living like they was living because them boys was really living like that.
It's
You heard
scary.
me, Five? No, they was scary. They was
Yeah.
real dark. You heard me? So when I got a chance to do that for them, I knew, I just knew that it was I always had super confidence in myself and what we was doing, and I knew that that could change our life. And it did that.
Yeah.
It totally did that. It changed our life, and it brought us in different places. And right now, this shit been 25, 30 years later, and they still want to see the Hot Boys.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of a smart move calling the group Hot Boys just for this.
Man, that was just a weird thing, right? I was like, fuck it. I'm going to call these niggas the Hot Boys.
I mean, there's some serious street cred in that.
Nah, they already had a lot of street cred. They was very, very popular from the streets. So, I was like, fuck it, we're going to name these niggas the Hot Boys, which is a group. I was like,
Yeah.
that's what we're going to do. And I think that was one of the, it's the two smartest things I did in my life. Naming them the Hot Boys and turning over Cash Money to Lil Wayne.
All right. Man, it's crazy that Lil Wayne comes into the picture with Cash Money when he's 12 years old.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Speaking of like going through hard times and becoming a better person, I really, really want to make contact with Vernon Brown because when I was on that thing with I'm gonna make the comedy gangster rap, like I was in a bad place with drugs.
Facts. I
got,
remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
I
that.
got in a real bad place, and I made a lot of a big mess. I acted like a fool in a big way. Fortunately, I'm almost 16 years clean and sober.
Oh, you did great, brother.
Well, thank you.
Great,
You haven't talked to him since?
I saw him.
Nah, I haven't talked. I don't know if he talked to Running, but I ain't talked to him since.
Yeah.
Because last time I saw him, he was in New Orleans. Wild boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild
Yeah.
boy.
I did see Vernon Brown at the Dancing with the Stars set, like just very quickly, but he's one person who
Damn, you 16 years?
almost 16 years, and
How you did it?
I just took it seriously, man. I took it seriously.
How you feel health-wise and all that? How you
I
no liquor, no nothing. You don't do
no
nothing.
no liquor, no nothing, no weed, no nothing. Like
You're doing great, brother.
I appreciate that.
Congratulations, brother.
I appreciate that. And I just we got to clean up our past. We got to clean up our side of the street. We got to make things right as much as we can. And I have not done that with Vernon Brown. Like he deserves to hear from me. Like, hey, I want to acknowledge that I acted a fool. I created problems.
You was a problem. You was a problem. No, you was a big
Steve,
problem.
what'd you do? Were you
I mean,
rapped in a song?
What it was just
I
like
don't think he was. He was just erratic.
Yeah.
But drugs will make you erratic.
yeah.
You'll be out your mind. You out your body, out your space. You out your mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he mean no harm or meant no harm.
Yeah.
Because every time I was around him, I was around him once or twice. But, that was normal for us because we was in the same space he was in. We fucked up too.
What a good guy. I mean, for him to even suggest that we were in similar places is just very generous. Fact is, I was a really, really crappy person. But you know what? I've gotten a lot better over the years. And one thing that's really gotten unbelievably better is my butthole. Because it's always perfectly clean thanks to my bidet from hellotushy.com. If you've never tried a bidet, let me tell you, it is something that you will be glad you tried because you're no longer going to be smearing poop all over your butthole. Now you twist the little knob and you got this refreshing spray. It's like pressure cleaning your butt. I mean, then when you get done, you're totally clean. You just dry it off with toilet paper. You're using way less toilet paper, and that's good for the environment. So, I mean, if you're going to turn your life around, turn it all the way around and include your butthole, right? It's just an improvement. And you can get, for a limited time, 10% off your whole order at hellotushy.com. And for when you're on the road, there's Tushy Travel, which is a collapsible, portable bidet. And I'm telling you, that makes pulling off at a truck stop, being in a porta potty, who cares? You're clean, you're confident, and you're stoked. And there are 5 different colors to choose from for the Tushy Travel. I'm telling you, I do not want to poop without it, and neither will you. So, hellotushy.com and use the promo code STEVO. That's HELLOTUSHY.com and use the promo code STEVO. Now let's get back to it.
We young and we fucked up. We high as he high. Like whatever high you on, nigga, we gonna get higher than you, be as high as you. So, to us, he was normal.
Yeah, it was just with so I get into business with Sylvia Rohn,
Fact.
Universal Music Group. I got this record. They give me the budget, and I'm out here getting in the studio with big artists. Man, I recorded a track with Be Real from Cypress Hill. I recorded with Cool G Rap. I recorded with MOP. Brother. It was like, I had like real artists and I was spending real money and making real songs, and then I'm turning around and putting the songs on the internet in the middle of my deal, putting it, just leaking my own tracks on the internet and recording stuff into the tracks where I'm insulting and dissing Universal Music Group on the tracks that I'm leaking on the internet. It was a bad look. It was not good. It was not professional, and it didn't reflect well on Vernon Brown. And he does.
Real talk.
You know,
Well, Vernon went bad for you. He gonna bad for you.
he went bad for me.
He
yeah.
gonna bad for you.
And now I feel kind of weird because I'm saying this all at a public level, but it would mean a lot to me if I could
That's
make
a
contact.
must. Man,
Yeah.
that man's so open-minded and smart. A real businessman.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I tell him. He's a real business. I've been working with him for almost 30 plus years. Every deal I ever did was done through Vernon Brown and with Mel at Winter, Lucian Grain, and Monty and Avery. Every deal we ever did.
Best
Even
deals in
Sylvia
music.
Rome. You hear me?
Yeah.
That man is a great businessman and
Yeah, great guy. And
Big
and,
facts.
and he uses his time to help people.
Big
That's all he
facts.
does. He's got his own school for helping
Nah,
people.
you know, I went to school a couple
Yeah.
of times.
Well, I've been to the school
Big
too.
facts. Big facts.
I've been to the school,
What school?
too. It's
Big
like what was it? Pace Law? Something
Yeah,
like
yeah. Pace, yeah.
He,
Big
he
facts.
runs a course on helping artists not get taken advantage of, on being smarter with their money. Like he
Nah, he got a law school, law thing. He preach and he teach.
yeah, and so I mean he never did anything except the best things
Great guy,
to
bro.
help me.
Just to sum it all up, he's a great guy, bro.
Yeah.
Just to sum it all up.
Yeah, and
Vernon Brown, a great guy.
He was my entertainment lawyer. He did my deal for Jackass #2, my Jackass movie deal.
Big facts.
Yeah, he took care of me, man. Like and so I just
Man,
I'm
again,
great. I'm
again and
grateful.
again and again, I just want to tell you thank you for even fucking with me.
Oh, dude.
I'm a fan. I've been a fan since you was fucking with alligators and all that old weird shit you've been doing, bro.
Right.
I'm a real fan, and I want to make sure we keep our bond together, bro.
Yeah,
And
man, I'm about
Big
it.
facts, bro.
I'm about it. They told us that you just got off a plane.
Yeah, I was in New Orleans. I went to a Drake show. Drake was in New Orleans. I had to go see Drake. Drake's like one of my best friends, and he was in my city. Now I just don't like for artists to be in my city, and I don't show him that much respect.
Yeah.
You hear me? That I don't show up for him. So, and Drake is one of my best friends, and Nikki gonna be there next week. I'm gonna have to go see her. And whenever Wayne in the city, I definitely do see him. But I just felt like I had to go see Drake, and we jumped back on a plane today, and I wanted to make sure I came see you.
Ah, man, I appreciate it so much. They said that your plane was gonna land at like 7 p.m. And I'm thinking, what kind of private jet has a schedule like that? You're not flying out. You're
Big
like,
facts.
you're not getting on an airplane for American Airlines or Delta.
Oh no, we PJ. I ain't been on a regular plane in 30 years. I ain't been on a regular plane, and I say that with respect.
Of
You hear me?
course.
I just been blessed to do how I
Yeah.
want to do and live how I want to live. But I just wanted to get back. We left at 5, so that's 6 here. We got in at 7. I had my guy George Duke, who's one of my best friends, just line it up with Kia. And
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I didn't get to miss this.
Ah,
'cause
man.
You're like one of my closest white friends.
I love that, man.
Big facts.
I love that so much. Okay, do I remember correctly when we were at your place in Louisiana that you had stretch
Yes.
PT cruisers?
Wayne was there with us.
Yeah.
Wayne was there. We had like 4 or 5 stretch PT cruisers because that's what we was doing at the time. We had a stretch Lexus, a stretch Excursion. I had 50 cars at that time, and I just wanted to make sure when you came, like, cause you such a wild boy at the time. I'm like, man, shit. I know my life and your life. We was already on the same level. You heard me? So I just wanted to just show you love, bro. I just
Wow,
wanted to
dude.
show you love, bro.
I appreciate that, man. What I'm interested. Like, what do you watch like stand up comedy? Do you ever watch what do you got a Netflix account?
Yes.
And what do you watch? Like when you open it up, like what's thrown at you? Like what
I'm big into mafia movies,
mafia movies?
like The Godfather.
Okay.
Godfather is my favorite.
Number 1 or number 2?
I watch all of them. 1, 2, and 3. I study them. But
Speaking of Netflix, have you seen that Jake Paul is going to be fighting Mike Tyson
I just saw
on
that.
Netflix?
I just saw that.
Yeah, what's your take on that?
It's a tough one.
I like Mike. You know, we all love Mike.
Yeah.
We all love Mike. But you never know. You never know, bro.
Yeah.
You know. I love Mike. I love Mike to death. That's Mike. You know, I come up under Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So we'll see when this show.
You know, when Mike Tyson, like, back in the day, he and I, we did a lot of drugs together. He doesn't mind me saying that either. You know, he doesn't mind me
I'll
saying
fuck
that.
with Mike.
Then I went to rehab. I got clean and sober, and in my early, like, you know, early on, like, I ended up in a psychiatric ward, and then Mike Tyson shows up. We were locked up together in a psychiatric ward, me and Mike. He doesn't mind me telling you that either. and
That's Mike, my brother.
yeah,
My brother.
dude, we both love it. The fact that we were locked up like that, and yeah, now we're doing good. I think that with the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, it's a lose-lose for Jake Paul, because if he beats up Mike Tyson, you just beat up a 58-year-old man. Like, that's
Oh,
not
that's
a
how
good
old
one.
Mike is?
He's
58?
57 now, but at the time that the fight happens, Mike Tyson's gonna be 58.
Damn.
That's so, like, there's no credibility, and you beat up 58.
Yeah, but do you really think he's going to beat him up?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's bad.
Man, it's weird. You know, you never know.
I mean, it's going to be a huge bag for
But
both
I'm
of them.
forever Mike Tyson. I'm forever Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let me ask you this, and we're gonna let you get your food. But is there any beef that I need to inherit to have your back?
No, I don't have no beef. I don't have no beef.
Yeah, okay. Because
I'm
you
too
know.
old to have beef.
Okay.
I ain't beefing with no nigga.
Okay.
You know,
good.
hip hop come with a lot of beef. You hear me?
Wow.
And a lot of people get, you know, hip hop come with murder.
Has hip hop become soft compared to when you came up?
Fuck no.
Okay.
We was boo. We was cool back then without social media. Now these young niggas killing. It's a different operation. You just gotta know how to adjust either way.
Yeah.
It's a different time from then to now. Back then we ain't have social media, so if you got a problem with a nigga, who gonna know?
Yeah.
Cause you ain't making songs about no nigga. But nowadays with social media, if you got a problem, the whole world gonna know. It's just a different times, and I just hope it get better, bro. I don't want to see people losing their lives, and cause that's happening.
Yeah.
Even niggas rapping or not rapping, people really losing their life over social media.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see them on live saying like, "Here, pull up. This is where I'm at,"
nigga
and they pull
pulling
up.
and splatting. You
Yeah.
hear me, Five? So we got to do better with that, bro. We got to do totally better with that, because we don't want to see that. I don't think that's cause for, but it is what it is, and we can't change it.
Yeah, man. Well, right on, dude. I could see, I could talk to you all night long, but
I could talk to you all night too, brother.
yeah.
Now you one of my best friends,
Thank you, baby.
without a doubt.
Oh, dear, what do you want to
hey,
ask
bro,
you this?
Hey, I'm glad you've been clean for 16 summers. Well,
Yeah.
you did good.
Well,
And you
thank
looking
you.
good too, brother.
Thank you, man. I turned 50 in June.
Man, you still a baby.
Well, thanks, man.
Nigga, I'm
Speaking of this, man,
55.
you look good too, man. Is it correct that your name, Baby, it says on Wikipedia that for the first month of your life,
Yes.
they didn't name
My mama
you.
never made me.
They didn't give you a name
Never
for the
named
first
me.
month. They
That's
just
a
called
fact.
you Baby.
Facts.
That was your name.
Nah. Everybody, if you're from Louisiana, they all call me baby. They call me
epic.
baby.
Yeah.
And I'm good with it too. You hear me? Because I really like, I say if I ever have another child, I will name a baby. Just to keep that heritage going, because I was raised like that. And my mama was Miss Gladys. She didn't name me till after I came out the hospital for a couple of months.
Yeah. Babe, that's a really cool way to get the name Baby.
Right. Yeah, for real. Hey, man. Hey, bro. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of your cleanse
Yeah.
and just your grind, your hard work, and what you done put into this game, and what you done put into your culture and put into yourself. Hey, man, I'm proud of you, bro.
Well, thank you, man. Last question. Scott, You got the
Oh boy, is it true the Birdman flies in any weather?
That's big facts.
Okay, good.
Is it the bird? You're always flying, no matter what the weather is.
When I say flying any weather, that means I'm fly Monday through Sunday. And if I need to fly, I will fly in any weather. So when you're talking about flying in any weather, it's about culture, fashion, travel. It's a lot of different things when you say, flying any weather. So for me, when I say flying any weather, every time we step outside, we fly. Every time we go somewhere, we fly. Every time we travel, we fly. Every time we see abroad, we fly. Everything we do is just fly. So, that's I go back to that #1 stunner model.
Yeah, and when you put something on sale, it flies.
Yeah. Big facts, man.
Yeah.
Big facts, man.
All right, man, dude. Thank you so much for
thank
doing
you,
this.
brother. Thank
Yeah.
you, brother. Very proud of you and
Hey,
all your
man.
success,
Yeah,
man.
likewise.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Very nice to
likewise.
meet you.
You too,
Yeah.
brother.
I dare say that episode was gangsta. And my man Vinny just couldn't even believe it. He's like, dude, what a flex.
Seriously.
Yeah. We got Birdman on the podcast. And he's my bro. I mean, I don't disagree, Vinny. I think that was a flex. And I want to thank all of you who stuck around to the very end of the episode, even though it wasn't a very long episode. It's you guys who watch all the way through, listen all the way through, and that you're here at the very end, who I love more than anybody else. So thank you, my wonderful people, and be well. Hey everybody, and welcome to a bumpin' wild ride with Steve-O. We're bumping and grinding and hipping and hopping, just bouncing. I'm telling you, this one's the one. It's juicy. It's dollar signs, man. We are talking money, dude. What's this man earn? Dude, he's candid about the business of No Jumper. And he's candid about the business of his wiener, right? I'm telling you, the guy is really, really using his wiener. He's using it well, and I applaud him. We had a wonderful conversation, and let me point out that today, for the first time, someone said, "Hey, man, Steve-O, looks like you've lost weight. You look really good." And gosh dang darn it, I've been trying my butt off. I feel like taking off my shirt right now. I look so good. And the secret is, dude, it's all about the diet, man. I'm really reeling in my diet, and I'm not compromising anything about my nutrition because I got my Athletic Greens. It's comprehensive, convenient daily nutrition. In just one pack, man, you get everything that you need. And by everything that you need, I mean maybe more than you even need. We're talking about 75 different vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, adaptogens, probiotics. This stuff rearranges your body in the best way. It makes your brain work better because it's just good for your brain and your thinking. You're going to be smarter. It makes your gut health better, your digestion. It's filling in all the gaps in your diet. And let me tell you, it's delicious. I use it every morning. And hey, man, I'm glowing. It just shows. It just shows how well I'm taking care of myself. And I want you to enjoy, those of you who are watching this on YouTube, how good I look. And I want you to also go to athleticgreens.com/Steve-O to get 5 of these comprehensive, convenient daily nutrition packs, plus an entire year's supply of immune-boosting vitamin D with your first purchase if you go to athleticgreens.com/Steve-O. It's a lifestyle, it's health, it's wellness, and you deserve it for yourself. So one more time, go to athleticgreens.com/Steve-O to enjoy this with your first purchase, and let's get into it. All right.
We're recording.
I went orange for the basketball.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Is
that a good call?
I like it, yeah.
All right, sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam22.
Steve-O.
Yeah, dude. So we've just done the No Jumper podcast,
Yes.
and I thought that was pretty sweet.
I had a good time, yeah.
Yeah.
We only had like an hour 10, hour 20, so I had to kind of just like skim through a couple of random topics and,
Right.
talk about sobriety, talk about me being a fan in the early days, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude. I feel like we got a little bit
Well, what kind of schedule do you keep? Because you have, like, she said there's like 7 interviews going in and out of here today. Are you that busy?
Well, I have other hosts doing a lot of the interviews, you know, and then like I have another like a porn podcast that I do with my girl, so I have to go shoot some episodes of that after this. But I mean, a lot of times, honestly, I'll have like 3, 4, 5 interviews in a day, just because like my schedule's kind of so all over the place that sometimes I'll have to like just be like, all right, fuck it, I'm doing everything Monday.
Right.
Like I'm leaving Tuesday, I'm doing 5 interviews Monday. Like I just have to hammer it out, and it kind of sucks because it's like you kind of feel like you can't do anything else with your brain during that. Like you're just a podcast machine. But I can go to the extreme with it and then kind of just have to chill after.
It's insane, dude. Like yesterday, I went to this place, Good Mythical Morning. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's got 17 million subscribers on YouTube.
What?
It's like the biggest, most watched daily show on YouTube. And I was unaware of it. I show up at their headquarters. It's like the biggest fucking and then the lady's like, I'm the executive producer. Here's the showrunner. Like this, and I'm like, damn. And they're only a YouTube channel.
Wow.
Like what the digital fucking revolution has brought about. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like my publicist is making a bigger deal out of this Good Mythical Morning YouTube thing than like some late night.
I gotta check that out. That's crazy. But yeah, no, for sure.
And dude, and it was hilarious.
Because when I started, it was just like I want to interview people. I want to like see how much I can do, how far I can take this, how big of celebrities I can manage to interview or whatever. And then to see the game change so much that like we have like 8 different hosts doing interviews, and like just the fact that we were able to buy this fucking big ass building that I wish we were in right now so I could be showing you it just to do more podcasts out. It was pretty crazy. Like I'm officially at the point in podcasting where everything I'm doing now is stuff that I never could have imagined doing when I started, which is pretty cool.
For sure. So now, when No Jumper started, like I watched, like I typed in Adam22 documentary on YouTube just to try and get some background on you.
I wonder if there's anything good.
It's pretty funny. like there's some clown, but he's like because of your talking about like your dad and Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And he's like, clearly he's like what the Freemasons, whatever. Like this guy said in this video, he says, everybody knows that every president has always just been a puppet for the Freemasons.
That's a good example. Like when I started podcasting, I did not know that the end result would be people like making up theories about me being in a secretive society for views.
Right.
That's a twist that I never could have predicted.
I mean, and until you've got people like making documentaries trying to tear you down, you know you haven't made it.
Yeah. Someone, DJ Academics actually told me years ago, he said, you're not really famous until you have other famous people publicly hating on you.
There you go.
And that is a pretty big standard because a lot of famous people tend to keep their mouths shut about other famous people that they don't like, you know? So if you get to the point where people are actually shitting on you publicly, and they have something to lose. It's not like, a bunch of troll accounts shitting on you.
Right.
That is a different level of fame.
Right. As soon as this video said it was start talking about Freemasons and puppets, I turned it off immediately, and it didn't have any views. But one thing I saw, it was talking about how No Jumper was started. You didn't start the actual No Jumper thing.
So I did. There's kind of like a confusion. Basically, there's this like guy who's tried to like take credit for starting it, but the truth is that before No Jumper was a YouTube channel, I had the URL, and it was basically an idea that we were going to start this like rap blog, right? Like we were just going to have articles about rap and stuff like that. And I started it, but there was this dude that I had basically like writing articles for free for the article for the site, right? And he did that for like a couple months, maybe like 1 month, and then he just dipped out and just like stopped responding to me. And so that project was like really, really short-lived, and it did get a
that was in 2011.
Yeah, 2011 sounds about right. Yeah, so that was like super short-lived. But then a couple years later, I hit that dude up. Like I guess he had hit me up after that, after he went dark on me, and I basically was like, "Yo, you remember the No Jumper URL? I was thinking of using it for a YouTube channel because I want to start interviewing rappers. So I told the dude, and he said, yeah, like, that's cool, you should do that. But then he probably didn't expect it to get really, really, really big.
Oh, so is that guy giving you
Yeah.
grief?
Well, then he starts just talking shit because he wants to act as if he was somehow involved in No Jumper blowing up, when in reality, I haven't even spoken to this guy since I started the YouTube channel.
Right.
But that got kind of like exaggerated, where people decided that they wanted to act like that dude had some involvement in my success, when in reality, he was an unpaid intern for a prior business that had the same name but was completely removed from, you know, it's like people just cook up these weird ass theories, because the truth is to that kid, like, writing a couple blog posts for this prior version of No Jumper was like a big deal, and he doesn't want to let that go, and it hurts him that the new No Jumper is a totally different thing.
I didn't like get a sense that there was anything controversial about.
Oh no,
about
it's just
it.
weird
Like,
because people like think that they think like they read that sentence. Like, I've had a lot of different people say that to me, and it's like, dude, I started this and I was the only person even doing content on this channel for the first couple years. I had a couple of co-hosts here and there, and only the last couple of years has we actually brought on other hosts that are actually doing podcasts and stuff. It was like a one-man operation besides like one employee for a long ass time.
right, and so now it's like a network.
Kinda, yeah. Like, I don't know how it got to that point where I always had that idea that I wanted to bring people on, and then there's this dude AD who's like a rapper, and he's from Compton, and I just had known him, thought he seemed like he had a cool personality and stuff, and right when the coronavirus shit hit, I was just like, bro, like, around that time I was like, you should, you know, do some news. We're trying to start this news thing, or we're gonna try to do some podcasts or whatever with different hosts. And we just started fucking with him, and the fans started fucking with him, and we just we built that up. And then after that, like, a lot more hosts, we just kind of started to figure out how to actually just do consistent content with people that people were feeling. And yeah, at this point now, we're just trying to take it, keep going with it. Like, I could almost see it as being like a bar stool, but for like hip hop culture type
sounds
thing.
right.
Mm-hmm. It's like because I went to Barstool recently, and I was like, oh, this is like my shit, but probably like 30 times bigger. But it's kind of like my shit.
Yeah, you should have Crip Mac host a segment
We thought about it. It's very political out here with that guy. Yeah.
with him.
Yeah, just because he's like such a crazy ass gangbanger. It's like there's a line between like a gang member, somebody who like is in a gang but is not out here just talking crazy shit about everybody else who's another. But Crip Mac is like a different level, where he's extremely aggressive, and you know, it creates a lot of problems with other hosts on the network and stuff.
I remember seeing like Snoop Dogg come out with a new album, and fuck, it had to, I mean, years ago now, but probably not 10 years ago, and he was talking about like blue handkerchief coming out of my back pocket, and
You
I
didn't know he was a Crip before that?
Yeah, no, I did know there was a Crip before that.
Right.
but I remember thinking that my initial just sort of gut reaction was like, man, Snoop, you've come so far, like, you don't need to be talking about blue handkerchiefs. Like, is that a fair thought?
Nah, because I think somebody like Snoop Dogg, like gangbanging is whatever you make of it, right? Like,
Right.
like you could be a Crip and you could be literally like going out and trying to shoot your enemies every day, or you could be a 40-year-old dude who's like, yeah, I was a Crip coming up, or even like I know dudes who are young guys who are like clearly identified with a certain neighborhood or whatever, and it's not some negative thing. It's not like they've got to fight people or shoot people or whatever. Now the reality is for like most young people that there are a lot of negative consequences that come from it. But somebody like Snoop, I mean, even
He's
at the
got
Super Bowl,
diplomatic immunity.
he's throwing up fucking C's at the Super Bowl. You know, like
Right.
the version of Crip that he's pushing is not a negative one. It's
So-
it's just love for his community.
So
you know?
he's like a Hell's Angel that's not the 1%.
Exactly. Where it's like he appreciates the culture and he respects it and he has love for it, but it's not like he's endorsing any of the negativity that comes with it, you know?
All right.
That's how I would think of it, at least.
And then there's 6ix9ine. I think you got to be a pretty funny guy for people to start cracking up like that just because somebody said your name. And what can I say? 6ix9ine, hilarious. We have a good laugh about him snitching and stuff. But one thing I do not joke about is my rest, man, my night's sleep. I mean, dude, let me ask you, how disgusting is your mattress? Be honest. And how well are you sleeping? Because I've got the answer, and I've got a great deal for you from HelixSleep.com. Helix will get you a personalized, tailored mattress for you by giving you this sleep quiz. You fill it out, and then they will match you with the perfect mattress. They've got 14 different types of mattress: luxury mattresses, mattress for big and tall, mattress just for kids. And when you order this personalized mattress, it comes straight to your door free of charge. How about that? And on top of that, they give you a 100-night free trial period, meaning that if you don't love your mattress for a full 100 nights, you can send it back for a complete refund. I'm telling you. But there's no way you're going to send it back, because you're going to love it, because it's going to be the mattress for you. These are the Sleep Pros. And if you go to helixsleep.com/Stevo, then they're going to give you up to $200 off of any mattress that you choose, plus 2 free pillows. And I'm telling you that they're cruelty-free, no feathers pillows are my favorite pillows in the whole wide world. helixsleep.com, baby. Get yourself a new mattress. It's time to just throw away that old disgusting one. It's time to sleep better. And I'm telling you, one more time, go to helixsleep.com/Stevo for up to $200 off your mattress, plus 2 free pillows, shipped straight to your door free of charge, and no risk 100 night. Come on, jump on it. helixsleep.com/Stevo. Now, let's laugh at 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Like, did you watch the documentary about 6ix9ine on Hulu?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of watching 3 6ix9ine documentaries because they interviewed me for all 3.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of wanted to see all 3. And I'll be honest with you, though, documentary making has come so far because each documentary managed to tell his story in such a different way, with using different characters
and
telling the story.
All valid versions of it?
Yeah, they were all pretty valid. Yeah, I was actually, it made me learn a lot about documentary making because I saw all the different routes that they were able to go with that subject matter, you know?
You know, like my take, I only watched the one, I believe it was on Hulu, and it was like Daniel Hernandez or whatever.
Okay.
And I remember my takeaway being like, you know, the only thing that really, I think, kind of made him look bad was just at the very end, like with his baby mama saying, like, about, like, kind of not being there for the kid.
Oh, man, she said crazy shit about him. Like, she said that he beat her and raped her and all this wild-ass shit. Yeah. Which surprisingly kind of went under the radar. Like, didn't really get that much attention because I feel like people had already decided that they thought he was a bad guy, and then she came out with, like, a really fucked up story about how fucked up he was to her, and I felt like people didn't really pay that much attention to it, which is, I mean, she's like a really great person from my perspective too, and like, yeah, I mean, he really is kind of like the super villain of rap because he's just kind of burnt everybody along the way.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, it's crazy. And like, we were talking on your podcast about people who get caught up in maintaining like the appearance of super success and just being flashy with cars and money and everything, but then they fall off and they still need to try to maintain this appearance, but it's beyond their means to do so. You gotta believe that that's kind of the boat he's in.
100%.
Or like paying taxes. You know, a lot of those people don't pay taxes for 3-4 years.
Like on TMZ, this has got to be the most uncomfortable look. Like on TMZ, he's trying to reconcile, like having like this like blocks of cash and saying this is millions of dollars. This is how I live. This is my lifestyle. I'm rich. I'm rich. I got houses on my arms. Like
what's a house? 250.
In Florida, shit, that'll get you a lot of the way there, right?
Yeah. Half of 80 in Florida.
But meanwhile, while he's saying this, I'm rich, this is my lifestyle, this is real, like he's saying to the judge in a lawsuit situation that he's broke and doesn't have any money. And then he's talking to TMZ with Harvey Levin and saying, look, man, like, I'm an entertainer. So it's like, so you're
well, didn't 50 Cent do that too?
He did. 50 Cent was in that same exact situation.
But the thing about 6ix9ine is that he will come out and make songs talking shit about other rappers who are actual like real deal gang members who like are on some crazy shit that we could not even imagine how much murder and bloodshed they've seen, both their enemies getting killed and their family getting killed. And then meanwhile 6ix9ine will be calling them out, trying to provoke them to do something violent. And then also meanwhile, I mean, he is a federal witness. He is required by law to tell the feds everything that they want to know. And he's so addicted to the idea of being perceived as a gangster that he's out here like really trying to pretend that while also having to stay in consistent communication with the FBI.
Is that something that's an ongoing thing?
Yeah. I think he has to check in, like, and that's why I think people don't want to beef with him. He's like, look how pussy hip hop is. Nobody has killed me. And then everybody who actually kills people is like, I'm not killing you. You got the feds in your back pocket. Like, any kind of beef that we start with you is going to be reiterated to them, right?
Yeah, he's probably being watched 24/7. Everything's tapped.
I mean, there's got to be like no precedent for like someone who's turned like state's witness or whatever, federal informant, and like normally you go into like a witness protection program, but this fucking guy.
They tried to get him to do that, and he didn't even want to have personal security, and that's why like there's a video of him going into a gas station and he's just buying something. And you could tell he's like alone, or like maybe there's a girl in the car, and he's got a bag that he's wearing right here, and he's got his hand in it. Like you could tell he's holding his gun while he's going in the 7-Eleven to buy a fucking soda, and it's like he's got some guy like filming him talking shit in the gas station, and it's like that's the reality of his life, is that he's got to be ready to he's either got to roll with security all the time, or he's got to be ready to shoot somebody at any time.
Right, and then like you can't afford security anymore because like no one will fuck with you and you're not making money.
Yeah, that's like one of the great mysteries, because I mean I know he could go play shows overseas and stuff and make fuckloads of money, but then I also like I'm pretty sure his financial situation's like ridiculously expensive, and he has all these legal situations. I don't know,
dude. It's nuts. The fucking it's just so fascinating. What was he just put out a song recently, and it was like pretty good, right?
It didn't do that well.
But when he was like riding on the car through New York, like on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like it was kind of attached to like an energy drink somehow.
Yeah, he started an energy drink and an NFT collection called Gine.
Okay.
But the NFT collection did pretty good, I think, right?
I would really doubt that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like,
NFTs are not like having a good reputation.
It's not a great market right now, and I think especially if you're a rapper pushing an NFT, that the fans are even more turned off. Because there was a while there where everybody was trying to get me to do a fucking NFT collection and trying to pay me, like, let me give you $40,000 to say that you're fucking with my NFT, and I'm just like, it took me a while to understand, and then by the time I really fully understood, I was like, I'm glad that I said no to almost all of this. I might have posted a couple of them, but
I sold one.
Really?
Like not like backing anybody else's NFTs. I just created one and put it on a thing.
Right.
Sold it for what at the time I sold it for 1 ETH, which at the time was like $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so you set up like a crypto wallet kind of a thing, right? And the password is like a series of words and everything, you know. I write it down on a fucking box.
You lost it?
Yeah, my editor threw it away. And dude, I'm like, dude, you fucked me. You threw away my ETH. And he goes, dude, I'll wait till it crashes. I'll pay it back.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I interviewed a girl who made like hundreds of thousands of dollars farting into jars and selling it. So she would sit around all day drinking protein shakes and then just like farting, like just holding these jars to her ass. And I think she would put like I forget if it was a cotton ball or something to help like keep the fart smell in the jar. And she sold so many of these, but she said she made herself sick from all the protein shakes. She had to go to the hospital. So then she started selling fart jar NFTs, right? And I guess she made a lot of money selling those, all these thirsty ass dudes too. And like in the interview, she's like, I've created this custom fart jar NFT for you, and it was like customized. I think it had a 22 on it from me or whatever. And then after, she just kept hitting me up like, hey, can you like send me your crypto wallet, your OpenSeas, whatever, so that I can send you this fart jar NFT? And I don't think I ever gave her the information, so I never redeemed it. So if it does end up being very valuable, which it will not, then I will have missed out, or she will owe me.
Here's the thing, dude. That fucking NFT was structured such that every time it gets resold, I get 10% of that sale. And I think it's been resold like a fuck ton of times. I think
it's crazy.
I don't even
can't get any of it because you're locked out of the whole ecosystem.
I don't even want to know.
Damn.
And part of me thinks like it's poetic and kind of beautiful that like that was my one little experience with crypto. And like Scott loves crypto.
I think it's the future.
I think so too. I was actually thinking like I want to buy like a couple $100,000 worth of Bitcoin right now.
I mean, dude, do you ever think about like doing porn in the metaverse?
Right before crypto crashed, I had this metaverse company hitting me up trying to pay me a fuckload of money, like many millions of dollars, to basically do metaverse porn with my girl and other guests or whatever. And at first, I'm like, this sounds stupid as fuck. And then they like keep stressing. I'm like, all right, if this is how much it's gonna pay, I will take some days out of my life to film this metaverse.
Sure,
porn.
I'll get in a threesome.
Yeah, but with like little probes all over your body and like a green screen background and all this weird shit that we're gonna have to do for the metaverse thing, I think, right? But then crypto crashed, and then they just stopped emailing me, and I was kind of relieved.
Yeah, we have a buddy who's close by. I'm not gonna say his name, but because he has the Oculus, and I'm like, you ever watch porn on the Oculus? He's like, dude, watching porn on the Oculus, and you had like that dick sucking machine. He's like, it's the best experience of all time.
How do I
dude.
not know about this?
Dick sucking machine.
Yeah, like I guess it like just I don't know. You put it over your dick, it's just like zzz, it's like a little machine that just fucking.
I want like a car wash for my dick, like with little like brushes and like soap and.
Yeah, you could do something like that.
Because I mean. I haven't been in the porn metaverse, but my friend AD, he was saying he went in it, and I was like, how was it? And he goes, it was weird. I had a white dick. He's like looking down at like a white dick for the first time in his life in the metaverse, which I guess he maybe just didn't update the shade, if you can do that. But
yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy,
I don't know, dude. Like I refuse to like jerk off with lube, or like I didn't even like watch porn when I would jerk off for the longest time. I would just jerk off to my memories, and now I watch porn more often. But,
I had to stop porn, man.
oh yeah,
Dude,
Mr. Addicted to Everything.
That's exactly right.
I haven't busted a nut in 130 days.
Oh, damn,
Wow,
dude.
you're into all this shit that these kids like, huh?
Mind, dude.
I'm into crypto, edging, semen retention. That's sick.
No, I just got into therapy for like severe intimacy shit.
Oh,
and
wow.
so they're like, you should abstain, for a certain period of time to like rewire stuff. And then like
Wow.
they have at like 60 days. I'm like, so could I bust a nut again? And they're like, no, because you asked. And I'm like, what? And then I haven't asked, and I'm on like 130 days, and I'm just like, dude, like I want to ask,
Yeah.
but then I don't want them to be like, you're not ready because you asked.
You haven't had a wet dream?
No.
I used to have wet dreams before I figured out how to jerk off when I was a kid.
I got on my
Wow.
hands and knees like 3 days ago and prayed for a wet dream. I was like, dude, please just let me some kind of relief.
I figured out jacking off way before any goo came out.
See, I was such a late bloomer. I didn't figure it out till I was like 13 or 14.
Oh yeah, dude. I like
I was like 12 when I first jerked off.
we had this shower that like there was like a bathroom that opened up to the backyard in the swimming pool, and the shower had like a foot faucet to like wash your feet. So I somehow just figured out that if I crawled underneath the foot faucet and put my wiener under there, like that it was rad.
Didn't you have a bathtub?
Yeah, but it's tough to crawl under and get your wiener under that faucet. This was just somehow worked really well. So I would like be under that fucking thing. You said you jerked off 9 times in one day. I definitely fucking climaxed with my wiener under that faucet 9 times in one afternoon.
Wow.
In 7th grade.
I've done like 5, and I thought that was pretty extreme.
Yeah.
But I've only banged 5 times in a day. I've never even considered masturbating that many times.
Yeah.
But when I masturbate, like the other day, I jerked off twice before I left the house, and to me, like, it felt like I had just smoked a bunch of cigarettes, because I don't smoke cigarettes. But like sometimes, if I do, it means I'm like kind of in a degenerate state.
Right.
Like recently, I only got like 2 hours sleep, and I had a full day of interviews. And I fucking bought a pack of cigarettes. So I was just smoking them because it's
Wow.
like somehow that feels right to me when I'm like burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of feel about jerking off. Like it's like maintenance in a way, because it makes me like chill the fuck out. But then also if you do it too much, it's kind of like it's just this like weird habitual behavior of like, I'm gonna make myself calm down by doing this stupid thing to
Right.
myself over and over. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
You just leave the house, your just skin's all oily, and you just have shame. And you're just like, what am I doing with my life?
I don't oil my dick up, so realistically, I might have some chafing if I were to beat it that many times.
Yeah.
Or I could just find some oil. I don't know.
So you and your girl do porn together?
Yeah.
Well, how about that for a direct and fast response? He does porn with this girl, and that's crazy to me, man. I know that I never could have done porn, but now that I've discovered Blue Chew tablets, I wonder if that could have changed the game for me. It certainly has changed the game for me in my relationship with my girl Lux. I mean, I've never failed to deliver the dong for Lux. When I chew up my Blue Chew tablets, which are, of course, tablets which contain the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis, except cost only a fraction of the price. When I chew up my tablets, my tongue is blue. When I show my blue tongue to Lux, she screams audibly in excitement because she knows that means I have just declared war on her vagina with my rock hard boner, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a war. When I take my Blue Chew tablets, about 30 minutes later, I'm just invincible. And is it fun? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And do you need a prescription? Yeah. But when you go to bluechew.com and consult with their online medical providers, it is so fast, so easy, requires no trip to a doctor's office. You're just up and running, and the tablets are in the mail. And get this, if you use the promo code STEVO at bluechew.com, they will give you an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets absolutely for free. All you have to pay is $5 for shipping. Let that sink in for a moment. $5 for shipping is all it's going to cost you for an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets. What that means is that an entire month of just unbelievable boners is in store for you if you go to bluechew.com and use the promo code STEVO. You are insane if you have not tried this, so jump on it right now. And one more time, bluechew.com, promo code STEVO. And let's jump into this porn talk. So your girl does porn?
So she does porn just with me, and she mostly just does the OnlyFans shit, and then we have a show together called Plug Talk, available at onlyplugtalk.com, where basically we interview chicks and then we bang them together. And that's what I'm doing right after this.
Wow, dude.
So you're gonna bone today?
Yes.
Do you know who you're gonna bone?
I do.
Can you say the name?
It's like Little Quiche.
Dude, that's pretty impressive.
I mean-
so that's like an open relationship.
Well, but not really, because like I don't fuck with other girls in my regular life. She doesn't fuck with other guys, but we do stuff with other girls on camera. So besides the content, we have a normal monogamous relationship.
Do you have to, like, in OnlyFans, you have to like cut next scene, or is it just because you're gonna get into the mode, you just keep going?
You kind of have that decision to make in general when you're making porn. Is like, do you want to make it all about getting the best possible image where you actually like frame up every single shot like the way they do in a movie, and where you're thinking about the lighting and you're thinking about like exactly like making this shot just look as good as possible? Or the way we tend to do it more is like, let's just actually have fun. Let's make this like closer to us actually just having a threesome, and maybe every single shot doesn't look perfect because the cameraman's capturing, one of the girls fucking waddling over to fucking get into a different position or whatever. But we try to like err on the side of it being more real,
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, how'd you start that conversation? Like, why'd you do it?
So, Vitaly?
Yeah.
Vitaly, did you have him on recently?
No, but he was on Roman Atwood's podcast.
Right, yeah, he's done a bunch recently. So, Vitaly, I've interviewed and stuff, and he...
When did you interview Vitaly?
Maybe 3 years ago or something.
There you go,
but it was right when he started the Uncensored site.
Right.
He was doing really well for himself, and so his team was talking to us, and he had been trying to convince me, like, you need to do an X-rated pay site. And so,
right, but dude, he had like, I would see on Twitter people saying, dude, Vitaly, I'm trying to...
I can't cancel subscription.
I'm trying to cancel my subscription and it won't let me. Like, it was like...
That also makes me glad that I didn't do that then, because
Yeah.
okay, so the company's trying to get us to like do maybe like an X-rated version of the podcast or whatever, and so me and my girl are talking about it with them and everything, and like over time we start to be like, well, why the fuck are we gonna give them a big percentage of it when we could do all this shit ourselves? Like, we know how to hire filmers, we know how to promote, we know how to, like, really we couldn't really think of that much that they were gonna be bringing to the table, and they were pushing us to go in more of like a lighthearted, like, just show the nipples while we're doing the interview thing. And I'm like, that's cool, but realistically, I think that there's a direction that this is going, that like people pay for porn, people pay for podcasts. Somebody's going to do this eventually. Me and you both know that we can do it, that we're comfortable having the conversations and doing the fucking, so why don't we just go for it? And so, but my mentality on it has kind of grown even from there, where now I think of Plug Talk as being this overall like porn media company where I'm trying to just like make a bunch of cool content through it in general. Like right now we're trying to figure out another podcast under our network where it's basically going to be two dudes who interview a chick and then they fucking double team the girl together. So it'll be like kind of a different spin-off on what me and my girl are doing. So I think that there's probably a bunch of different stuff that we could kind of do in this world.
Dude, it's epic.
I know. I was like, dude, I should put on Pornhub like, 130-day load and see like how many downloads it gets and just see how big the load is.
Dude, I thought about your
You should do that.
celibacy like the last time I saw you in Waco, and I thought to ask you, But I was like, I don't want to,
In case I slipped and it was been on a couple conversation.
It felt like kind of personal. Like
no, it's cool. I mean, I went on a date last weekend and it was cool. Like I got to go on like 10 dates before I sleep with a chick to like really get to know somebody.
That's the rule you've given yourself?
I mean, I would like 3 dates, but like, I'm in consultation with somebody and they're like, dating plan, get to know them, and maybe go to like 6 to 10 dates before you start engaging sexual, because like, my problem is if I sleep with them on the first night and the sex is really good and there's just all these red flags that I'm ignoring, but the sex is so good I want more, then I'm in this fucking like toxic cycle with this person,
And it's worse than that because you're attracted to the toxic.
Yeah.
So like that's.
I prefer the toxic.
I respect that because looking back on my life, there was a bunch of dudes I knew in my life who were very selective about who they would give dick to. Like they were like good looking guys or guys that girls liked, and they just decided like, no, I'm gonna have girlfriends, or when I do fuck a girl randomly, it's only gonna be because I really like her or I really think she's super hot or whatever. And I went the total opposite way, where I was like Amazon, like I'll fuck anything, we'll sell anything. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it, whatever. And I just wanted the experience. I don't know, I just wasn't worried about fucking some fat girl that I met at the bar. Like, all right, I'm just gonna do it, and when I look back at my life, I'm like, clearly it would have been better for me to be a bit more selective. But
like at the end of the day, with you and your girl, like it's not all just sex. Like you guys are like best friends or friends, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like that's important.
It's like going hiking together,
right?
Banging a different chick together. It's funny though, because it's like you are dealing with like the negative like side of like being overly sexed, kind of like with what you're talking about, whereas like a lot of times people want to ask me like if I have that kind of relationship with it, and I'm like, honestly, I feel like doing this kind of content has given me a way healthier relationship with sex, because it's just totally demystified it, where it's like once banging a bunch of chicks at one time is like your job for the day, and it's just kind of the thing that you're showing up and doing, that totally just removes this layer of, I don't know, like the way sex just seems like this thing that you just want so bad, and it's so exotic and special and fetishized, and a lot of that kind of goes away once you get used to doing it as a job.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's cool to see you and Lux are like best friends, like I want that, because at the end of the day, the sex is you're not gonna be like, there's different things that you're gonna want to be attracted to. You're gonna want to be attracted to spiritually or emotionally, versus just physically. Yeah. Whereas like my problem is, as soon as the physical wears off, or like the sexual, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm over it. But if there's other things that are built before that, I think it's just kind of, I don't get in the relationships for long periods of time, and that's part of the problem.
Right.
Because as soon as like I'm over the sex, I'm just like late.
Right. It's weird for me too now though, because we got a kid. And my girl, we want to have another kid, at least one more. But then meanwhile, my girl is making all this money on OnlyFans, and we're doing all this content together. And it's like, part of me wants to be like, hey, fuck all this shit. Like, you could just chill, keep pumping out babies. I'll make the money. But then, like, it's like she's kind of wrapped up with, like, her sense of self is wrapped up in how she looks. And she doesn't want to necessarily just, like, she's kind of torn because she's, like, 30. She's like, do I want to do this porn shit for another 4 years and then have a couple kids? Or do I want to have another kid right now and then get back to doing more content? It's kind of like it's weirder for her, whereas for me, I could just show up, do it, and it is what it is. Like having babies just puts such a stress on a girl's body.
Right.
I read somewhere that your OnlyFans is making $1 million a month. Is that accurate or no?
I think my quote was that in general I make like around $1 million a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, it's funny because I feel like I've never really like said anything about how much money I make, and I wanted to say it on this one. It was like a business podcast, right? And I just wanted to throw that number out there. And it's not like we are actually like making that every month, or it's like obviously there's a lot of expenses, a lot of things that go into shit in general. Like anybody can tell you that their business is not the net amount that they bring in that month or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's shocking how fucking little remains after all the overhead and
after
taxes.
And Jesus Christ, yeah. Welcome to paying 50% in taxes.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a whole thing.
There's a lot of girls making money on OnlyFans that weren't making money before, and it's like, dude, what about all these chicks that are like making a fuckload of money? Like, are they paying taxes? Like, you got to be careful. Like, nobody's telling them to like.
Well, hopefully they are, because for sure your OnlyFans revenue is being reported very transparently to the government once you transfer it into your bank account.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, The only reason I wanted to say that is because, you know, in my world, the rap world, it's like rappers feel totally fine telling you, hey, I made 200,000 for playing a show last night, or I made 50,000 for doing a walkthrough, or I just dropped this album and I made $1 million, whatever. And it's like, as a media person, you're kind of expected to never do that. And the reality is that I kind of like look at the up and coming generation of YouTubers, and I want to like inspire them, or at least let them know what's possible. So I kind of like felt like airing that number out, and I just picked that number to just give like a sort of oversimplification. But just because I want these kids who do YouTube videos and shit to know that it's like, yo, if you're making $5,000 a month right now, I mean, there's possibility. Like, I was in that position too, and I grinded my ass off and built my business into something way crazier, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I heard you guys when I went in there talking about Steve Will Do It and, you know, getting canceled on YouTube, but his overhead doesn't stop, you know? And so if part of his YouTube, he's not making that much money anymore.
Right. I mean, the dynamic with Steve Will Do It that's so fascinating to me is that here he's throwing around so much money, but that's his shtick, you know? That, like, outside of throwing around so much money, like, what content is he going to be really putting out? So he got kind of like, I almost think, trapped in that lifestyle of throwing around money, because that's what sort of, you know, his career is.
But the thing with him is that he never made any money off YouTube ads, so that was never a concern in the first place. It's all about merch and then sponsors, like primarily the fucking gambling sponsors. I think is like a huge percentage of his income, and him not having a YouTube channel really shouldn't totally change that, because you still have Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Like, he could still make the same content he was making and just put it on TikTok and Facebook and stuff. Obviously that's going to be a compromise, because it sucks to lose your 5 million subscribers or whatever, but like, I really think that if he just like dedicates himself, that he'll be able to make it so that him having a YouTube channel doesn't really matter. But he's gonna definitely have to be creative. And yeah, I mean, like, I've always felt like that, watching all these people give away so much money. It's like, it is inspiring and it's heartwarming and stuff, but then at the same time you're like, is this work in the long run to make a YouTube video that you make 10 grand on and you're spending 100 grand in the video? Like, me, just as like a person who was broke not that long ago, I'm just like, it just doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Right. Me too. And I think that there's different approaches to it. Like, I look at David Dobrik and the way that he throws around a lot. I think David Dobrik is highly strategic, you know? And like, every time David Dobrik gives away a car, I feel like it's actually a sponsor giving away the car.
I think more often than not, yeah.
Yeah, so I just think that David Dobrik is considerably more savvy, and you know, not to say that, I mean, I just don't know. Steve Will Do It's just a fucking mystery, man. He's so fascinating, and I love the guy. I've always been worried about him as long as I've known him.
Just because you have been around long enough, and me to a certain extent too, where you've seen so many people make $10 million and then fuck up $10 million. So it's like, but younger people, they see somebody making $1 million a month or whatever, and they're like, oh, he's rich and he's gonna be rich forever.
Right.
We know how easy it is to fuck that up. I mean, I haven't really done it, but like, I've seen other people do it, and I know what it looks like. So that's why I'm so thankful that I managed to like grind my ass off through my 20s and early 30s, and then only started to see success once I already had like eaten shit so many times and had the world just fucking spit in my face so many times, so that by the time I finally started getting to it, I was cautious, you know?
Right. And like we were saying on your podcast about just not feeling the need to be extravagant in your lifestyle, you know? Like just...
Yeah, well, I look at the Island Boys, and like all their TikToks are videos of them buying stuff at stores. Like, they're putting out their own videos of just throwing around like 10 grand to buy some shoe or whatever
is that what's going on? Give us an Island Boys update.
I feel like they're faking buying stuff. I feel like
it's all fake.
Yeah, or they'll go to like a rich person's house and film mad TikToks and make it look like they're in this fancy mansion all day, when in reality they, you know, I don't know where the fuck they stay at. But yeah, those dudes they're dunzo.
We had them on our podcast.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I saw them walk off Logan Paul's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like shortly thereafter.
That same podcast where I said the thing about the $1 million, that was the same one that got me in trouble with the Island Boys, because the dude Graham Stephan was like,
is that their guy?
Graham Bensinger?
No, Graham Stephan is like a financial podcaster in Vegas.
I know who he is.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy, and he was doing the thing where he was like, the Island Boys, I mean, I kind of think that they're like viral geniuses. And I was like, no, they're idiots. They're like the dumbest motherfuckers I ever met. And then they saw it, which somehow in my head at that moment, I felt like, oh, I'm talking to another white guy. It's like, there's no hip hop people watching this. I can say whatever I want. I can be totally honest. And then, no.
right. I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of like saying that Ashley Simpson was a genius for all the publicity she got getting caught lip syncing on Saturday Night Live.
Right, yeah. People love to lay that motive down and be like, oh, look, they were trying to make this happen. People love the idea of conspiracies rather than just acknowledging that, like, a lot of things are random, and if they happen in a specific order, then odd results might occur, or things that are beneficial might occur. Because, like, I had a dude, like, basically try to rob me and, like, stick a gun in my face. And everybody thought it was fake because I didn't get shot. And then what do I do afterwards? I go and do Logan Paul's podcast, and I'm on the news, and I get all these positive things happen from it. So people thought I had to have made it up because nothing bad happened from it. And it's like, no, I was just taking advantage of the opportunity.
Did you see your life flash before your eyes when that happened? Because you looked and you thought it was...
It was like 3 seconds. So I didn't really have time to think of anything besides, like, is this a joke? Like, that's what I thought. Like, is this a fucking joke? I thought it might have been one of my friends fucking with me.
I heard about that. And then, like, and I'm, like, driving to come see him, like I said, I was typed in Adam22 documentary. You know when you scroll through the YouTube feed, like, without actually clicking on the video, it'll, like, play it in place?
Yeah.
One of the videos did, and, like, the little section of the video that played in the feed was you reacting to the guy with the gun on you.
Right.
And I thought to myself, man, like... It's so crazy how the instinct kind of takes over to, like, put your hand out like that.
Even though this is not a good way to stop a bullet.
Yeah, like...
Well, that's how you know it's self-defense when they're doing, like, the first 48, because there's bullets through the hand. Like, it's like, fuck.
Right. It's just like... That,
really?
Because that's your reaction.
That makes
What
sense,
defensive wounds are more, like, with knives and stuff. But,
Yeah.
but, yeah, it's crazy how your instinct is to put your hand up to stop a bullet.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That definitely changed a lot.
And seeing that, I thought, man, like how would I respond? Like, I gotta believe I would, like, just anybody would react the same way. Like, it's just like, you know, the natural. It occurs to me that there's no way to look cool when someone pulls a gun on you.
And imagine if I got my fucking head blown off, what that clip would have been like. It would have been the craziest fucking thing that might have ever happened on the internet, of, like, seeing a fucking influencer get their head shot off on, like, on live stream. Like, that almost happened. And also the other part of why it was so crazy is because by the time the guy is near me, the guy who was doing security for us has his gun out and basically has it pointed at the guy's head. Now, why he didn't pull the trigger, very controversial, but whatever. He had the gun pointed at him. So I'm kind of like feeling like I'm about to get murdered, and then also feeling like I'm about to see this guy get murdered. So there was so much going through my head, and then somehow it ended up with him just getting stomped out. And yeah.
Did that go to court or anything, or that just got handled on the side?
So yeah, the cops ended up coming. They fucking scrape him up off the ground and take him away. And at one point, you know, I get contacted where they're like, we want you to come to court. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I had just been talking to Logan Paul, who, I don't know why I've said his name 3 times in the last, like, 5 minutes, but I was talking to him, and he told me about the situation. He's like, my advice, press charges. Because he had, like, one dude, like, pull up to his crib, like, 10 times or some shit. Like when I went to Logan Paul's house, he had fucking security outside. Like, he's not fucking around at all because he's had crazy fans show up so many times. He told me, he's like, when it comes down to it, press charges, because otherwise this motherfucker's going to keep coming back. So I'm like, all right, that makes sense. So then when they tell me to go to court, I'm like, I'm not going to blow this off. I'm actually going to go. I had to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning so I could be downtown at like 7:30 or whatever. And then I'm sitting in the courtroom. I see the fucking kid. He's like sitting a few rows in front of me with his dad. His dad is giving me a dirty look as if I did something to him. And then whatever, like, we're sitting there. Eventually the fucking court appointed lawyer or whoever the fuck it was comes over and just basically tells me, like, hey, this is postponed, so you don't have to do anything. I'm like, oh. And they're like, and we're not going to call you back. Like, we don't need your help anymore. I'm like, why? This is the dumbest thing ever. I should have just fucking ignored this like I would have done.
Dude, it's crazy.
So did he get in trouble? Is it
I don't even know.
Attempted murder? Is that the charge?
But it was a fake gun.
Oh, shit.
That was the crazy part, yeah.
Like, when someone mentioned that to me, and they said that this viral video of someone pulling a gun on Adam22, and that they described it as it being, like, super beneficial to you, like that being the point at which he really blew up.
I mean, honestly, that was a couple years after like the SoundCloud rapper wave, which is when I first really blew up. Is like I interviewed XXXTentacion and
I saw that.
Lil Peep and all these people who just became fucking gigantic like around that time. That was when like things really started going crazy. This was a couple of years later, and again, like it was kind of convenient because the business and everything was slowing down a little bit around that time. It wasn't necessarily as huge as it was like maybe a year before, and it did like bring a ton of attention, but also it was like you get a lot of attention like that month, and then like the next month you're like back to normal, like that kind of shit. When you go super viral for something, how many of those people are going to actually be like tuned in to watch your shit every week? Like best case scenario, you have that kind of thing happen to you and you can maintain and like capture a bunch of that audience. But that's why when people were like thinking it was fake, I'm like, you really think that I would fake that and risk my reputation of being and be known as a liar forever? For what? For like maybe 5 or 10 grand extra on YouTube ads that month? Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it's I've always felt super strongly about not faking shit, and dude, it just read like that's from what I saw, just that like you said, 3 seconds, and I saw it like I was just repeating that 3 seconds. That read very real, dude.
Yeah,
you're not faking it like that. You know,
I mean, why would somebody?
I even respect the shit out of it that you've got that footage of like, yeah, this is how that it's so real.
I almost finished because, like, okay, what we were doing is like when there was the YouTube adpocalypse in 2018. I don't know if you were here really, but we.
I mean, dude, I was already like like not ad friendly.
Right,
so.
but we like I remember right when that happened, I was making maybe like 50 grand a month off YouTube, just putting out so much shit, and all of a sudden it became 5 grand a month, and that's when I was like, oh fuck, like I gotta actually figure out all these other revenue streams that I haven't really like touched on yet. Like we gotta start being more serious about merch, and we gotta be more serious about like I had heard about people streaming, and I was like, well, maybe I can just stream. And so I start streaming, and then people start being like, yo, here's $10, listen to my song. And I'm like, all right, well, you gave me $10, I gotta listen to a song. That like spiraled out of control to the point where I was like, all right, I gotta charge more. I started charging like 50 or 75 to $100 like to listen to their song, and it just kept coming in, and all of a sudden I was making like almost 100 grand a month off just listening to people's music on live stream, like $100 at a time, which that is 1,000 songs a month, which sounds fucking kind of depressing to listen to that many fucking random SoundCloud rap songs. But that was what saved me when the adpocalypse happened, and that's exactly what I was doing when the guy came in with the gun. Is I was sitting in the back of the store with a couple people smoking blunts and watching fucking people's music.
Fuck, dude.
Dude.
So that,
Dude, the music game is crazy. I just met up with a guy that signed a record deal, and he was like, dude, every time my song gets played on the radio anywhere around the world, I make $40.
40?
That's what he said.
That doesn't sound right.
I don't know if he's full of shit, but that's what he told me.
It sounds like more like maybe every time a radio station plays it, they've like now acquired the song in their library. Maybe for every radio station that takes on the song.
I never heard anything like
play.
that. But I never heard anything like that. But maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Now on your Instagram bio, it says you're a rapper.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: were you ever familiar with my attempt at becoming a rapper?
Oh, I do remember this. Yeah. What year are we talking?
2007.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people
Shit was fire, dude.
A lot of people tried to become a rapper at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people. You know, now I'm going after a little bit of rap redemption.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna do it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna like I want to like make some funny rap songs.
I mean, your vocal texture I would describe as gravelly.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that rap rewards from time to time, is that you'll have somebody like DMX come in, and it's just people like that, you know.
People want to listen to a cement grinder.
Yeah, a man whose lungs are made of cement.
Yeah.
Do you have a top 5 favorite rapper?
I mean, I have like a pretty boring top 5 rappers of all time list that's pretty close to like everybody else's, where like the only differences might be that, like, you know, I love Cameron. He was huge for me. I love 50 Cent. I kind of feel like my top 5 is like lacking if I'm not honest about those two. And I feel like Tupac and Nas and Jay-Z. Like, people always like, I love Biggie. I feel like he gets kind of bumped out of my top 5 at a certain point, but yeah, it's not that interesting when you really like. I don't know why, but it's like there hasn't been that many rappers that you could really put in that upper echelon, I think, in the last 10 or 20 years. Besides maybe like a Kendrick Lamar or a J. Cole, but they're not like my favorite rappers, even though I respect the shit out of them. You know?
Have you had 50 on No Jumper?
No, I would love to. That would be amazing.
know, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he fucks with white people,
All right.
or at least not me. I'm not this specific white person.
Did you ever see when he threw me down the stairs in the bellhop cart?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of like I was just watching him with Bryce Hall doing a TikTok in Bryce Hall's backyard, and they're kind of like dancing around together. And I'm like, every once in a while, 50 will come out and do some content with a white guy.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I wish I could talk to 50 on here, man. That would be so great.
Yeah, he's very sparing with his public appearances. You know,
Yeah, he
he's
is.
one of them.
So now, with all the feuds and the fucking beefs and the crazy, like, you found yourself kind of parked right in the middle of crazy beefs. Is that
sometimes.
fair to say?
Yeah, been a bit of that.
I was saying on your podcast how I was impressed by the way you kind of diffused and moderated the Lil Xan beef with his manager.
Right.
Like, and it seems like you weigh in, you know, pretty objectively on like, you know, if you're talking about like the Island Boys or this and that, like you're not afraid to call it the way you see it and maybe ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of pick and choose your battles, because it's like, if I were to just be totally honest about everything, then I'd be like, that would be just so detrimental to a lot of my relationships and shit. Like,
Right.
you know, like, or even just this, like, let's be real, 99% of rap music that comes out is a complete failure. Like, it doesn't sell
Right.
well, it doesn't really gather much of a fan base, it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm even talking about music coming out of labels and, like, you know, shit that, like, you have a reason to think that it would be popular. And the reality is that, like, the rap game produces like a couple of stars a year. Maybe if you expand your scope, maybe like a dozen or a couple dozen people like rise to fame in rap every year. And so me having a platform, I could very easily just let the world know every rapper I don't like and just say, I heard this girl the other day, 19-year-old chick from Baltimore, she's doing her thing, shit's trash. You know? That would be me being honest. But I mean, there's a certain time where like being honest is not really like gonna be good for yourself or the world. Like, I feel like I would rather do an interview with that girl who's got a little something popping off in her career and like try to support her and help her, even if I don't personally love the music, you know. Like, but there's a lot of YouTube channels who they kind of solely exist to be like, so and so put their album out, it sold 7,000 copies first week, here's why they fell off and their career's over and they're gonna be sleeping under a bridge soon. And I'm like, dude, that shit is kind of like low-hanging fruit, where it's cool that you're doing it because somebody's got to do it, but I feel like as a content creator, I want to mostly be putting good things into the world, right?
Yeah, like how many YouTube videos do you see where the title is like, this rapper can't understand that his career is dying? Or
Yeah, you take any person, any celebrity, and you make a video called "The Rise and Fall of."
Kodak Black.
It's a couple million views, no problem. The rise and fall of Steve-O, boom. It doesn't matter that he kind of fell and then rose again, like, and sometimes they'll put that in the title, and rose again. But like, yeah, I mean, it's the easiest kind of thing to get views on is just to make a video that is like critical of somebody who's widely beloved. You know? Or just critical of anyone. People love to just hear people shit on other people, you know?
What are your thoughts on Charlemagne the God?
I interviewed him back in the day. He's definitely probably like one of the people who's shown us the heights that you can reach through being like a hip-hop media personality, for sure. Just seeing him do all this crazy TV stuff and everything. Like, I mean, as somebody who's been watching him for like 10 years, I definitely did not know that he had that in him. But it's definitely an inspiration for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's an impressive cat, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I like what he's doing for mental health too. Like that, I guess somebody was telling me that he just came out and said, dude, I go to therapy. Like, if you have problems, go get help. Go get on SSRI, go do whatever, you know, and don't keep that shit in. And he's all about encouraging people to like work that shit out, which I think is fucking massively important.
I think he's good at like sort of finding that line of like being honest, not like fucking blowing smoke up anyone's ass.
Yeah.
And like just you know.
But he had to kind of like leave a lot of the edgy shit in the past, you know, because his thing was always just saying the craziest shit to people and just making them react, you know?
Wow.
Like he said to fucking Post Malone, he said, "What are you doing to support Black Lives Matter?" at the very beginning of Post Malone's career. Post Malone, like, obviously kind of bumbled his answer a little bit. I don't think he said anything like super offensive, but like, you know, he would love to do that. Like he would always be making people walk out on him and shit. And it has been kind of interesting to see him like fall back on that shit a little bit and be a little bit more of just like a good interviewer, you know?
Well, you think because the Birdman fucking came in there was just like, yo.
No, I think he doesn't want to get canceled. I think that Charlemagne at a certain point decided that he doesn't want to make the woke people angry, and he sort of fell in line to a certain extent. But I mean, I still respect it. You know, it's like, it's not for everybody to be edgy for the rest of your career, you know?
Sure.
He has Kamala Harris, who's really running the country, and she acted like she didn't hear him, and she just dipped.
Yeah, and in moments like that, you are like, okay, that's the old Charlemagne right there, giving her a hard time. Yeah,
He was classic with 6ix9ine. You know, and that wasn't being edgy. That was just being like...
Nah, but 6ix9ine ran fucking circles around him in those interviews. That actually was when I realized how powerful of a communicator 6ix9ine was. That I've always compared him to Donald Trump in the sense that, like, he just is the biggest piece of shit, but he can just control the room and everybody's attention, you know? And when I saw 6ix9ine, like, not the first interview, but the second interview that he did on Breakfast Club, which, as far as I could tell, is like the biggest rap interview ever, because on YouTube, because I went and looked. Because I was trying.
When he said he only fears the feds.
Yes, but I went and looked to see if it was the biggest rap interview of all time, because I thought my XXXTentacion interview might have the most views of any rap interview ever on YouTube, but I think that one has a little bit more. But either way, like, when you watch that interview, like, Charlemagne normally controls the room in his interviews, and 6ix9ine is like, he's just running shit in that interview, and like they have 3 hosts and they're kind of like powerless to stop the energy of like what he was bringing to that room, you know? And like that doesn't exist anymore, I've noticed, because I watched like other 6ix9ine interviews since then, like since he snitched and got off on the Fed case or whatever, and it's not the same. Like he doesn't have the same charm that he had before all that. But I mean, when he was at his heights, it was insane.
But when he was in that one interview recently where he was just like yelling like, "Is he lacking?" Like, I don't even, you know, and
yeah.
But the reason why he controlled the room was because he was just like loud and aggressive and like, what do you do to that?
But in that recent one that you're talking about, I think with it's like Academics, Whack 100, Hassan Campbell, and then him, and it's like he's got some of his like Brooklyn goons, like his gang members that he's rolling around with, and everyone else is talking over him. It's like he just clearly doesn't command the same like social status that he had before. So people aren't just ceding the floor to him in the conversation. That whole like godly thing that he had going on is gone, which is pretty fucking crazy to me to have just watched that, observe that just sort of like dissipate over time.
What's lacking mean?
Lacking is like if you're outside without a gun and somebody runs up on you and robs you, then you were lacking.
And then what's the stand tall guy?
He was talking
stand-up
guy?
He was like, you know, was Pac a stand tall guy? He said, and I'm like, what? I don't even know what these means.
I don't know. Probably just like meaning,
somebody that has a gun.
I would think he's saying like basically that you have a gun, and if somebody runs up on you and tries to disrespect you, you're going to shoot him. That type of thing. Because I think they were talking about the situation with Meek Mill, where if 6ix9ine like ran up on Meek Mill outside a club in Miami, right? And like 6ix9ine had security, Meek Mill had security. Meek Mill has retired cops or like off-duty cops with guns and everything, and 6ix9ine basically gets in his face and just yells at him and disrespects him and says a bunch of crazy shit. And Meek basically was like, "Fuck that!" Like he yelled back for a bit, but then he was like, "Fuck this," and he walked off and avoided the situation, you know, which is to a lot of like gang members and stuff, they use this as like evidence that Meek Mill's a pussy because he refused to, you know, do battle with 6ix9ine in this situation, which to me, as like a person who's more concerned with not going to prison, I'm like, I think Meek Mill did what he fucking was supposed to do. I mean, you got all the security around you for a reason, so you don't have to entertain these fucking morons, right?
Right.
If a guy comes up to me right now in the parking lot and says, "Hey man, I'm tougher than you, boom bam boom," whatever, it's like, that's why I have a fucking security guard right over there, so that I don't have to listen to your dumbass opinions.
Crazy, dude.
And if you want to act tough or you want to pull a gun out, then he's gonna shoot you, and LOL, you know.
LOL.
Dude, that's insane, man. That's insane. What a fascinating fucking conversation, dude.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude. And thank you so much, dude.
I appreciate it. I was just watching you with Bert.
Yeah.
Just randomly, I watched that episode because I was been kind of interested in him. And you know what really got me is he mentioned how him and what's his name, Chris, that he does the other podcast with.
Yeah, Tom Segura.
Tom Segura.
No, but he has another one with that he was doing with the dude Chris DiStefano, I think his name is.
Okay.
Chris DiStefano.
Is that his name? Yeah. And they started talking about their kids, and they started talking about like the compromise of being on the road all the time as a comic and missing out on so much of your kids' shit. And they start crying their eyes out in the conversation, and boom, I'm fucking crying my eyes out. Your podcast is to the left of it. Paused. I'm watching this clip, and I'm just fucking like getting it. I'm like, wow, this says a lot about podcasting, that these two motherfuckers are sitting here having a conversation with their kids, crying their eyes out, and they got me sitting here at home like 6 months after it came out watching it, and I'm doing the same exact thing. I mean, that to me, I was like, this is a beautiful medium right here.
It is, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I know, when I looked you up, because I was like, man, this guy, I always see you on TikTok, and I've been following you for a couple of years, but then I'm like, how old are you? And we're the same age. And I always love seeing people the same age as me, like, killing it. And,
Appreciate
like, you know,
that.
I see, like Shia LaBeouf, me and him are the same age. It's like, you know, because, like, we grew up in the same era. It's like, dude, you made it. Sick. And I'm always, like, stoked on you when I see you.
Because me coming from like the BMX world, and like I'm sure you guys would say the same thing, is that like when you're younger and you see people around you getting successful, it can be kind of like, you feel like, oh fuck, like all the BMX dudes I would see were like getting sponsored and they're on covers of magazines and shit. I'm like looking at them like they're the fucking man, and I wasn't good at bike riding like that. I just loved the community and the culture and everything, and you know, to be able to like actually see some heights in my career like this late into it, I definitely don't take that shit for granted, for sure. And I mean, I think about it all the time. Like even when I was listening to them cry and have that conversation about missing their kids growing up because they're on the road making 6 figures for a tour or whatever, it's like they even said it. It's like there's a lot of people who are missing their kids growing up to just do construction 80 hours a week just to make sure that their kid has a little bit better opportunity than they have. I mean, that's some real shit right there, you know?
So
Make it heavy,
gnarly.
dude.
Yeah, and so like you are going to be a part of your kid's life because all you got to do is go in the studio and bang a couple chicks.
I know, right? And then the only hard part is that I got to explain that to my kid one day.
Dude, thank you so much.
No,
man.
no doubt,
Dude,
man.
I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
dude,
thank
it
you
was a
so
pleasure
much.
meeting you, dude, for sure.
You guys are awesome. Congrats on all the success on YouTube and with podcasts and everything. Yeah,
Likewise.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
dude. Cool, man. Sorry it got so fucking hot in here, man.
Dude, I want-
and hey, dude, do you want us to cut anything at that?
that was
Everything's
great.
cool?
Yeah,
All right,
super
sweet,
cool.
man.
Yeah,
Fuck
appreciate
yeah.
you guys.
My beloved street team. I'm so excited that I'm doing this as a collab with my man Adam22. Check out the podcast I did with him, right? Yeah, here. Yeah, dude, how have I never done an end screen? Dude, I love you guys. Thank you for sticking around. Do you think I got like 3 more seconds? Fuck yeah.